who have received a very special message of a player who cannot play. He is not registered for this competition, but he had this to say.
Un mensaje para la afición. Hola, afición. Bueno, hola, culés. Sabe que tenemos una semana muy dura y muy increíble. Pero, como siempre digo para ustedes, nosotros somos el Barça y nosotros continuaremos siendo el Barça. Así que contemos a nuestras fuerzas, contemos a nuestra good vibes y a nuestra mejor energía para afrontar esa semana y para tener una semana increíble como nosotros merecemos. Busca el Barça.
It's a very important competition for us. It's Europe, and we want to win, and we need to win. So we are excited, we are motivated. It will be tough and difficult for sure. We are playing away, but we need to play a little bit better than the first game. So I think we are ready to compete well.
It is indeed a win-or-go-home situation for Football Club Barcelona as they are getting ready to face Galatasaray. We, of course, have our studio panel as well with a very special guest indeed as we're around 40 minutes away from kickoff. But before we get into all of the pre-game action, why don't we head on over to Istanbul to connect with May Rostro, who has already with her the starting 11 for today's match.
Hello, Diego. Yes, indeed, we're here at the Nefes Stadium in Turkey, ready to play this second leg of the Europa League round of 16. A big night, Xavi said it yesterday. This is a final. So let's take a look in the starting lineup for today's game. We will play with Marc-André ter Stegen in goal, back four with Dest, Piqué, Eric Garcia and Jordi Alba. In midfield, Sergio Busquets, Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, and then up front, Adama, Aubameyang and
Hola.
There you have the starting 11 for today's game. Bruno, your initial reaction before we head on over to the studio.
Well, a really strong 11, of course, with Xavi Hernandez going with all the players, the best lineup that he thinks he can put in order to, of course, qualify to the next round of the Europa League. It's a really strong 11, just thinking on Galatasaray games, and we can, of course, see it after seeing this lineup. And of course, it's a win or go home. It's a crucial game, and hopefully let's see if the team can get a good result. But of course, we have to believe in all these 11 players that today are going to defend Barca's colors.
Absolutely, and the motivation is going to be maximum for these players playing in a stadium that has this hellish type of atmosphere. But with that being said, why don't we head on over to Robert and that very special guest indeed that is sitting next to you today, Robert.
Your guest, a former player, and now starting to become a legend here at Barca TV Plus as well with her game commentary. Emma Byrne, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Robert. How are you?
Fine. Very excited about this game. Obviously, a good opportunity for Barca to make it through to the next round. A strong lineup that Xavi Hernandez has put out there. A few changes compared to the lineup that he put out last week. What strikes you the most of this starting 11?
Well, I think it's very impressive, actually. It's very similar to how they finished the game last week.
Yes.
I'm glad to see Piqué back there, because just to kind of marshal that back line, because, you know, they had a few problems last week that was a little bit worrying. But apart from that, dominating the game, they just, there wasn't enough chances for me. And I think with the players that he's bringing on, with the likes of Aubameyang and obviously Adama and Torres playing, which I believe he'll play a little bit wider
to the left,
which I really like him in that position. I think that's going to be enough to get the chances and to put us, get us through.
Two of the players that start tonight are Gerard Piqué and Sergio Busquets. They came off the bench as an emergency, more or less, at half-time last Thursday at the Camp Nou. Barca was struggling to bring the ball out from behind. That's one of the issues that Xavi wants to address, maybe the creation at the very beginning of everything with Piqué and Eric Garcia next to him.
Yeah, absolutely, and both of those players are very, very good at that. Araujo is good at it as well, but probably not his strongest point. So I think we're going to see a lot of that, specifically with Piqué just bringing it forward. But what that will do, it will allow De Jong as well to push up a little bit, and I think that's a massive thing for him to be supporting those three players up top. So yeah, I think it's going to be a big difference. Also, you have Busquets as well with his range of passing, which I think is going to be very, very important.
And you were talking about the likes of Aubameyang, Adama and Ferran Torres. How surprised are you at the impact that those three have had, the immediate impact that those three have had since their arrival?
Yeah, I think it's been brilliant. It's something that we've all been waiting for, particularly Adama. He just brings it to life. He's so quick, he's so powerful. And Depay, when he came, he was very, very similar, but Adama just has a unique quality of beating his player.
Exactly. Well, I'm going to ask you one final question, Emma, before we kick it back to Diego and Bruno, and that is to rate the lineup from 1 to 10. Give it a rating.
I would have actually liked to have seen Dembélé on there, which might surprise some people, but that's why I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, okay. I'm going to go a 9 out of 10 because 10 out of 10 is perfection, and it's you can only give perfection once you see the results of it. But 9 out of 10. I want to ask the audience watching us on YouTube as well, what is your rating for this lineup? Rate it from 1 to 10. You can leave your comments on the live chat, and I'll ask that question to you too, Diego and Bruno.
All right, well, listen, I'm going to go with a 9 out of 10. I think it's a very solid lineup indeed. Looking in particular at that front line, I know, Emma, Dembélé is not in it, but it does mean, of course, that we have that maybe that joker card, if you will, in the second half if his services are needed. But Adama has proven with, 4 assists so far this season, that he's also very effective on that flank.
Absolutely, and I'm going to say 10 out of 10. I mean, this is the lineup selected by our manager. These are the 11 players that he thinks are the best ones for tonight's game. So for me, it's always a 10 because I always support 100% to Barca's coach.
Well, what an experience is going to be for these players to play over in the stadium of Galatasaray, a packed stadium, we imagine, with tons of fireworks, tons of emotion and atmosphere, of course. A little bit like Barça Café. Use a similar atmosphere over here, Bruno.
No, there's a fantastic atmosphere. Many people that has come today to watch the game and enjoy it from here. Actually, this space, it's open all the days of the year. They can enjoy a great Barca experience. It's all the atmosphere here is about Barca, all the food. It's a kind of a sports bar with a Mediterranean also foodie, and well, you can enjoy, of course, burgers, good coffee, good beers, and I mean fish, meat. You have everything. Paellas, all of good, really good paellas here at the Barça Café. So it's a fantastic experience. Here you see how they prepare these coffees, and that's something that here they love. That is everything with the Barca, but everything is Barca here. So it's completely full Barca experience.
Everything is branded, so there's no doubt that you are indeed eating at the Barça Café, branded with the Barça logos, from the, as Bruno mentioned, the coffees to the adult beverages to the burgers. I don't know if the paella also gets a Barça badge branded on it, but hey, I'm pitching ideas here for the kitchen staff. Listen, Bruno, we've got tons of things going on over here at Barça today. We're going to be handing out, or I should say, you can win shirts, Barça shirts. We're just going to be handing them out. You're going to have to work for it just a little bit. And in fact, the first concurso, the first contest that the people here can partake in is guessing the score and guessing the first goal scorer as well.
Yes, they guess the score. We're gonna now in the following minutes ask here people they read the lineup, also they guess the score. We're gonna see their opinion, and yeah, guessing a good score and also answering who's gonna be the first Barca scorer. They can win one of these shirts. All the audience here that are in the Barca Cafe. And if you are watching YouTube and I mean you're around Barcelona, come and visit us. You have the chance. You still have the chance to come here to the Barca Cafe.
It's a privilege, I'll tell you that, because right here we've got the view of the most beautiful stadium in the entire world to come. No, you've got delicious food, great atmosphere. Make sure that you come down and pay a visit to the Barça Cafe when Barça plays away. With that being said, I'll tell you what, one person who doesn't need any of these shirts is our head coach, Xavi Hernandez, of course. And he spoke earlier before this match, as well as Aubameyang, who spoke yesterday to the Barça TV Plus microphone. Let's take a listen.
Com és habitual a la prèvia de cada partit europeu, avui ens costarà una mica perquè hi ha uns quants xiulets. Som amb Xavi Hernández. Xavi, què tal? Bona tarda.
Què tal? Bona tarda.
Bé, quin ambient, no sé si és d'aquells dies...
What an atmosphere today.
Et porta una mica també la teva època de jugador.
Does it remind you of your time as a player?
M'agradaria jugar ja i participar, però
Yes,
no estic per jugar.
I'm not ready to play here today though.
Intentarem competir amb aquest
We'll try and compete today the best we can.
però bé, al final jugant 11 contra 11 intentarem...
In the end it's 11 against 11. We'll try and impose our style and our play and try and go through to the next round.
L'últim partit de Lliga, torna Dest, torna Frenkie, torna també...
Dest, Frankie are back. What are you looking for? A lot more continuity maybe?
Sí, intentar d'alguna manera atacar millor.
Yes, we'll try and attack better than we did. In the second half we were a lot better. We'll try and generate more chances and be more effective. That's the thing we need to do. You've got Piqué and Eric. Does that mean you're trying to bring the ball out a little bit more smoothly? Yes, we know that they can do the better with the same system. Eric can do that, Gerard can do that. We'll try and dominate possession, create chances, and impose our style.
Yeah, we are feeling good, and we are prepared for this game. I know tomorrow is going to be a special game with a special atmosphere, but I think this is the kind of game you like to play when you are a player, and hopefully we can win this game and yeah, turn this stadium from hell to AC. Definitely, I think we have to put more rhythm. I think this is going to be the key tomorrow, and obviously we have to score goals because yeah, definitely if you score you win the game. Yeah, I think so. I think this is the way to go. This is what we're going to do. We're going to try, and hopefully yeah, we're going to take this win.
The words there of our center forward and as well our head coach. We didn't get a score prediction, but we are going to get a score prediction of these two participants right here. Buena tarde, buena tarda. Perdona, mi catalán todavía no es tan bueno como debería ser, pero ¿cómo os llamáis? What are your names?
Joan.
Joan and
David.
David, Joan y David. ¿Cómo va a quedar el partido hoy? ¿Qué pensáis?
La cosa va a estar un poquito justa. Sí, yo creo que van a quedar 0-5.
Joan is saying that he thinks it's going to be a very tight score line indeed. He thinks that Barça are going to win 5-0. ¿Tú qué crees?
Yo soy más optimista. Yo creo que 0-2.
0-2. 2-0 for our participant over here, David. Bueno, esperemos. Yo me quedaría con cualquiera de estos dos. Ya os digo. I would take both of these score lines. But why don't we have a look now to see what Galatasaray is going to come out with in today's match. And for that, we're going to head on back over to Istanbul and connect with Mai.
We already have the starting lineup for Galatasaray for the home team. Duvenak Turren has decided to start this game with Iñaki Peña in goal, then in defense, Boi, Nelson Marcao and Van Halton. Two at the front with Kutlu and Antalyali sharing the midfield, Babel, Sikaldao and Akturkoglu, and then up front, Gomis. 11 games unbeaten in the European competition for Galatasaray, and also their coach decided today some changes, the same as Xavi Hernandez.
Well, there we have the lineup of the home side of today. Why don't we get an impression now of our studio panel and what they make of Galatasaray starting 11?
Yes, well, Diego, as Maya said, a couple of substitutions or a couple of changes that Domènec Torrent has made it there at the front line. Gomi, who had a goal disallowed the other day at the Camp Nou, he will start tonight, as well as Chicaldao, who comes on for their captain, Sofian Feguli. Other than that, a very similar lineup and a very similar approach, I assume, from Domènec Torrent for today's game.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, they're going to be even more confident, obviously. They're playing at home. It's a very hostile ground to go to. They use that to their advantage. Yeah, I do think they'll sit back and they'll try to pack out the midfield and basically then they'll put pressure on Barça as they come into their half. But in general, you know, I think if Barça move the ball a little bit quicker than last week, and they take their chances, I think Galatasaray will struggle to defend that. But Barça do have to be careful of a couple of players. As you mentioned, Gomis looked very, very lively up front. His goal was disallowed, but he finished it very, very well. It's just a good example that they need to look out for him. And also, you know, they need to look out for that player, Actor Goglu, who was very, very effective. Yes. And also, he's coming off the back of a win after scoring 2 goals on Monday, so he'll be in high form.
Exactly. They got a win against Besiktas on Monday with 2 goals from Actor Goglu, who proved at Camp Nou that he can be a very dangerous player on the break. Emma, what do you think that Galatasaray did so well defensively to be able to run away with a 0-0 draw from Camp Nou?
I just think they worked very, very hard when they were playing. They actually changed their formation a couple of times throughout the game, and their 4-1-4-1 seemed to work a lot, you know, trying to outnumber Barça in the midfield. But as much as they tried, as much as they got behind the ball, when Barça moves the ball quickly, going centrally, then wide, they really struggled to cover those spaces. Also, they struggled with 1v1s, which is something that we didn't exploit enough, I don't think, particularly in the wide areas. So yeah, Galatasaray did very well last week to defend 0-0, but at the same time, I'd be looking at Barça and why they didn't create more chances.
Yeah, and that was exactly what Xavi was mentioning yesterday in the press conference, especially very critical of the first half of the team. He thought that the team didn't do well enough. Then they did improve in the second and created a few more chances and played a little bit better. As a former goalkeeper, I must ask, what were your thoughts on that performance by Iñaki Peña?
Of course, I mean, it was already written in the books, wasn't it? It's so typical of a goalkeeper to play out of his skin against his team, his old team, or current team. But, you know, they were great saves, particularly, you know, the save from Piqué as well was a fantastic save, and then we were unlucky hitting the post from De Jong. But in general, it's the perfect stage for a goalkeeper, and he's going to want to impress Xavi because at the end of the day, Barça is the team he wants to play for.
Most definitely. Well, Iñaki Peña is one of the possible answers that you can give to the following question, which is, what worries you the most about tonight's game? You can send your answers on the live chat. Option number 1 is Iñaki Peña. Number 2 is Galatasaray's counterattacks. 3 is the possibility of penalties. And number 4 is that atmosphere, the Turkish hell, as they call it. If you have to pick one, Emma?
I'm going to say penalties because it just has it has his name written all over it, doesn't it? But I hope not. I hope that Barça can finish it in the game, in game time.
Right. Well, I'm going to ask you, Bruno and Diego, the same question, going back to Barça Café.
Well, I will say same as Emma, probably penalties. Worry always to go to the penalties, but hopefully the team will perform well before going there and the team can qualify and get a good result. We are also with more fans here at the Barça Café. The fans are arriving. Here we are with a group of Catalan people. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Edward.
Well, Edu, we are live on YouTube. We are asking to the people what worries more about the game of today. We have some options. Iñaki Peña, the counter-attacks of Galatasaray, the possibility to go to the penalties, or the Turkish hell, the atmosphere that they will face there.
Okay, yeah. Well, Iñaki Peña did a very good job in the first game, but I think that today the fans we deserve now that we're again believing. We deserve, you know, a comfortable match and not suffering, not penalties. At first half, already be winning 0-3 and no suffering today.
More opinions here. What's your name?
My name is Ignacio. I think the thing we worry most about is the Galatasaray fans. They are very famous about their ambient and they really scream very loud. And I think this will be the most important thing about Galatasaray. And Iñaki Peña, of course.
Sorry, Ignacio. Well, these are some of the opinions here of the fans. Now I want to connect with Mai, who is there in the Turkish hell. And Mai, I want to ask you, how is the atmosphere there?
Well, guys, I have to tell you, we already know why they call the Nefes Stadium the hell. Because we arrived here 3 hours ago, and it was not even possible for us to go outside because there is a lot of people singing, there is a lot of people you can hear, they're making noises, and they know already that the team is here getting ready for this second leg. And of course, the atmosphere is pretty amazing. I can imagine if it's like this 3 hours before kickoff, how would it be during the game? Because it's going to be impossible to take a look at what's happening on the pitch with all the people around. They know, well, they told us that the day they sell the tickets, in just 5 minutes, they sell more than 30,000 tickets, and it feels like going to be full capacity because there's a lot of people around this stadium. There's a lot of people waiting for this game. So definitely it's going to be tough. We're going to see a really great atmosphere, and they say it's one of the biggest atmospheres in the stadiums around the world. We're just inside of the Nefes Stadium, and we can hear them, and they're really far away from us. So we will see what's going to happen, but definitely it's going to be an amazing night.
We certainly hope for an amazing night, of course, with Barça coming out the triumphant side of this. And on that note, why don't we head back over to the studio, because we would like to know from our studio panel today who they think will be the first goal scorer of the day. Over to you, Robert.
Okay, interesting question. I want to go with Adama because I want to see him score his first goal as a Barca player.
I'm not going to go with him.
Okay.
I'm not going to go with him. I think he'll assist, though.
Okay.
I actually think it's going to be, Aubameyang.
Okay.
I'm going to go with him, yeah.
Aubameyang. We were hearing from Mai, one of the factors that everyone's been talking about this week in having to go into Turkey is the atmosphere that Barca will face. This stadium is very famous, of course, for the passion that their fans have for their team. She was saying that the tickets were almost sold out in 5 minutes, or 30,000 tickets in 5 minutes. And I think that when they went on sale, the fans couldn't have expected the both teams to arrive in this situation with a 0-0 result from the first leg. Galatasaray aren't having the best of seasons. They're 12th or 11th now in the Turkish Super League. They're not having the best of results. They're really struggling, but they did manage to run away with that 0-0 result at Camp Nou, and this makes the game all the more exciting for their fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a 0-0 draw away from home in Camp Nou is a fantastic result for them, and that's only going to galvanise the fans even more. And, you know, it was because of that man, Iñaki Peña. He was, fantastic on the night. Having said that, Galatasaray haven't lost a game. They've only lost 1 game of 7 home games. So, it just shows that it's going to be really difficult for Barca to come here and to win. And, the crowd do play a part in that. But for me, as a player, as a former player, that would have only kind of made me want to beat them even more. Yeah, exactly. It would definitely contribute to my energy levels as well.
Well, Xavi mentioned it being an opportunity, really and truthfully, something to experience, something to be able to shine in this game. We're seeing footage of the first leg. Barca really struggled in the first half to create opportunities, to thread sequences of passing together. In the second half, there was improvement with those substitutions that Xavi made, and there were several opportunities where the ball could have gone in, and it was just one of those nights as well in which you were just missing by inches.
Yeah, I mean, Barca did dominate. They did have the possession, but they just didn't create clear-cut chances. You look at that from, well, it nearly ended up in the back of the net. But realistically, you have Adama here. It's a cross come in. You'd like to see a better cross come in from him just to find a player. Hit the post from De Jong. Bit unlucky. Could have gone in easily, but it was that kind of night, and I don't feel like Barca did enough to create those clear-cut chances, whereas I'd like to see that tonight. And as good of work as Adama does on the pitch, I'd just like the final ball just to be a little bit better and more people in the box.
Yes, you did feel like maybe Barca we're just pushing it towards Adama to just try and create something, put a hopeful cross inside, whereas in other games we've seen it come more naturally. We talk about the stats of that first leg. In the end, we think of it as a sluggish performance by Barca, and it probably was, but 16 shots, 4 of them on target. There was improvement 4 days later in the game on Sunday against Osasuna, 4-0 at the Camp Nou, 24 shots, 9 of them on target with 92.1 precision in passing, whereas it was down to 87% in the game against Galatasaray. So the team came back clicking and came back strong on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what a good team does. It's what a good manager does, and Xavi would have analysed this game and he would have been looking towards tonight's game, probably even in the build-up to Osasuna, even though that was very, very important as well. But it would have been all about training and about creating those chances, and it would have been about the movement and the timing of the runs. And you can see that they're just a little bit they're not on the same page because they don't know when Adama's going to cross the ball in, because sometimes he takes players on, sometimes he'll drive into the box himself, and sometimes he'll cross early. And actually the chances we had last week against Galatasaray were very clear when we got the ball in early. Yeah. And I think that's what we need to do tonight.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Adama is one of the options that we're giving you in the following question. Diego threw it to me, and I'll throw it back to you, Diego and Bruno, and also to the fans watching us on the live chat on YouTube. You can answer who will be the first goal scorer of the game. Who do you think will be the first goal scorer? It can be number 1, Adama, number 2, Aubameyang, 3, Ferran, or 4, any other Barca player. What do you guys think?
I'm going to go with Adama as well, Robert. I'm going to go with Adama. I would like to see him get his first goal as well. It's much deserved. He's got a handful of assists pretty much, so why not put one in the back of the net as well? Happy days for Adama in that case. On to the next bit. Of course, we mentioned at the top of the show that we have contests today. As you can see, you've got a variety of Barça shirts. All 3 kits that we're going to be handing out today that you guys can win. Or I say you guys, the people here in Barça Cafe. And on to the first quiz, I would say. I'm joined by Alejandro and
Alex.
Alejandro and Alex, they're the 2 first contestants that are going to partake in the very first quiz. They're going to have to name the 22 goal scorers that have scored goals for Barça so far. If they miss one, they have one more comodín. I should say if they repeat a goal scorer, they are able to repeat. However, if they guess somebody that hasn't scored a goal yet, in that case, we will have a winner. Are you 2 gentlemen ready? ¿Estáis listos?
Yes, sí.
Alex is ready?
Yes.
Alejandro is also ready. Alejandro, you get to start, my friend.
Okay. Let's try Aubameyang.
Aubameyang has scored.
Ferran Torres. Jordi Alba. Adama.
Sorry?
Adama Traoré.
No!
That is indeed wrong. Adama, we were just saying that how we would like for him to be the first goal scorer. Alex, it wasn't meant to be. Adama, hopefully he will score today, but he hasn't scored a goal yet. He's got a bunch of assists, but with that, it means that Alejandro, you're the winner of this beautiful, the first shirt of Barça. Do you already have this one?
Luke de Jong.
No, en el caso de fallar, in the case that you would say somebody that hasn't scored yet, that was the end of it. I'm sorry, Alex.
Well,
disappointed.
Luke de Jong.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, we have our very first winner of our first jersey. As you can see, Alejandro is going to take this jersey home with him. We're going to connect now with my over to you. What do you think the score will be for today's game?
Well, as you know, the goalless draw at Camp Nou left everything to be decided tonight. And we can't forget that in the European competitions this year, there's no away goals, which means if we have another draw, we will have extra time. And if it's not already resolved in the extra time, we'll have to go to the penalty shootout. And I'm pretty sure none of us want to go to a penalty shootout or to an extra time, taking into account we have another game on Sunday, and not any game, it's El Clásico. So it's definitely a tough test for the team. We will see, obviously, as Aubameyang mentioned yesterday in the press conference, we'll need our pace, our intensity since the very first minute. And as our coach Xavi Hernandez also mentioned, this is a final for us. Just by the way, just to mention, the referee for tonight's game is Daniele Orsato from Italy. Now, guys, we have to go to our position to take a look in the game, and I will connect with you guys after. But my guess, the score, I said it during the Culers Corner. It's a 3-0 for Barça, and I hope it could be like that. So I will talk to you guys after the game.
A resounding 3-0 it is for my... I'll take that. Guessing the scorers went a little bit quicker than we had anticipated, Bruno.
Yes. But we have to guess the score now, or?
No, I'm saying with our previous contestants, that went a little bit quicker than we had anticipated.
I know. Yes, true. Let's see how continues.
It is what it is. Why don't we head back over to the studio and see what the panel thinks of today's scoreline, if they can get the score right.
All right. Well, I think it's going to be a comfortable win for Barca, but I'm going to save my guess the score for just a little bit later, just before the game, and we're going to vote on the Barca app as well. But Emma, we're about a quarter of an hour away from the game. What do you think the keys for the early part of the game should be for Barca?
Well, they have to start well, because if they don't start well and allow Galatasaray any kind of success in the ball, the crowd are going to get behind them, and it's going to be really difficult to show their confidence. So I do think we need to get on the ball. I think midfield need to hold the ball, and I think we need to get it out wide as quickly as possible, because we've seen last week that Galatasaray really did struggle in the wide areas, and you had the Galatasaray players trying to work back, like Ryan Babel was trying to help his right back out in Bowie, and Van Aanholt did okay against Adama, but both players, both Adama and Depay, did have the better of both the fullbacks. So we need to exploit that straight away. And what I'd also like to see as well is, I know Xavi doesn't like it, but I'd like to see a long ball going in quite early, a ball over the top, just to stretch the game a little bit. We actually did see it in the game last week to Ferran Torres. It was like in the first 5 minutes, and it really stretched them a little bit. And then we never did it again. You could actually see Xavi saying, we don't want that. We want to play. And I understand that. But if they'd done a couple more, they would have stretched the game a lot more and allowed a little bit more space for the likes of Pedri in there to get on the ball.
Yeah, we didn't see much of Pedri or Nico in the first half of the game against Galatasaray. And yesterday, Xavi drew several comparisons to the situation the team were in going into Napoli. The 1-1, it was a draw in the first leg. All the pressure on Barca to win away from home. And what Barca did very well in that game is come out strong early, force mistakes in Napoli's half, quick opportunities off of it, and it's what they struggled to do last week.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, for me, a very typical Barca, the old Barca that we know and love style play against Napoli, and I think that really, it turned a corner. People started really supporting and getting, and one of the supporters said in the cafe, now that we've got that kind of buzz back for the team, and I think, well, it probably started with the Athletic game, but it definitely helped with Napoli, just closing down really quickly, in units, in packs, winning the ball back, moving the ball quickly, spreading it around, and just not allowing Napoli to get behind the ball and settle. And we did too much of that last week against Galatasaray.
And you did mention the name before, but I'll bring it back up again because it's just a joy to watch him, and we didn't realise how much we missed him in the first months of the season until we got him back. And that is Pedri. We would like to see a lot more of him tonight than compared to last week.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen in the first 10 minutes of the game last week, he was actually on the ball between him and Depay and Alba. They actually were playing really well together. And I'll say it again, I think it's because we pushed them back a little bit and had that space in front. And then he kind of dipped in and dipped out. That was as well because Galatasaray did really well in blocking that ball into the midfield, which allowed space out wide. So yeah, I just think we need to switch it up a little bit. Instead of going out wide all the time, try to go in centrally as well. And I really think with the likes of Piqué and Busquets playing, that they will dictate that and they'll dominate in there.
Well, barring that game against Galatasaray, Barca have been in good form recently, and we got a chance to talk about that with a couple of Barca's players in Media Day last Monday. So let's have a listen to what they had to say.
Le gusta el control de juego, le gusta la posesión como le gustaba a Pep, pero también le gusta la verticalidad que tenía el base de Luis Enrique, ¿no? Yo pienso que esa combinación pues, nos está dando bastantes resultados.
Com ha treballat l'equip, el míster, com li ha donat la volta a la situació.
Before we missed a lot of chances, and didn't came in front that many times. but now we do. We're finding each other in front of the goal and create a lot of chances.
I jo crec que a partir d'ara tenim que seguir per esta línia perquè bueno, estem fent-ho molt bé.
Gives us more, faith to go for more goals, and that's I think why we win. More games with higher results now. We are Barcelona. We need to score with a lot of goals. I think the rhythm that we play, we move the ball. Obviously, the intensity of our team, and the confidence. If you see the last couple of games, the team shows that we have confidence.
Estamos recuperando la base de ese club, la base de ese equipo, que es el control de balón, el control del juego, el dominio del juego.
Of Dani Alves, Ferran Torres, Memphis, and Serginho Dest, who talked to us on Media Day on Monday ahead of this very important week that Barca have. And Diego, Bruno, I want to know a little bit more about what these fans think about Barca's recent form.
Well, why don't we ask the fans themselves, Robert? Slowly but surely, the fans are coming into this Barça Cafe. The atmosphere is heating up. I'm joined by this lovely family over here. Look at this beautiful family. I wish I could just grab a seat and pull up right here. Let me talk to this big boy right here. Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo? Who do you think is going to win tonight, Lorenzo?
Barça.
Yeah, how much?
2-0.
2-0 for Barça. I like it. And you are?
I'm Rosa Maria. Hi.
Rosa Maria, you're from here?
I'm from here. Actually, I am really a Barça fan. I used to come here when I was little with my grandparents, and now I'm coming with my grandchild to see Barça. We are going to win 2-1 for Barça.
2-1 for Barça. That's beautiful. So now you're coming here. You used to come here with your grandparents. Now you're coming here with your grandkids. You got their little grandkid. What do you want to say?
Barça.
Barça. Who's your favorite player?
Memphis.
Memphis is this boy's favorite player. Lovely, lovely. Well, as you can see, the atmosphere is heating up. The people are coming in. It's an atmosphere similar to what the players are experiencing in Istanbul, no doubt. But of course, at the end of the day, Istanbul will decide the fate for this team. Well, Bruno, like I said, the atmosphere is definitely heating up over here. What do you think? What are your thoughts, your guess to score before this match?
My guess the score, I'm going to say 2-0 up for Barça. And the first one is scoring Aubameyang. Unfortunately, I don't think we are going to be able to win the shirt if we get it right. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I think, of course, the atmosphere there in Turkey is going to be one of the keys for them. But we also have a really good atmosphere here at the Barça Cafe, and I'm sure that our players are going to feel also all this support from Barcelona, in this case from the Barça Cafe, around the world, and also some Barça fans that also will be there, at least some of them for sure.
That's it. Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be a tight affair as well, Bruno. I think I'm going to go with the same scoreline as you. I think we are going to go through, but by the minimum of margins, let's say, I think it's going to be a 2-1 Barça. Over to you guys.
Okay, tight scorelines that you're predicting there, and well, action-packed game, I imagine, or thrill-packed game. What are your thoughts? A bit of a prediction? You think a wide scoreline, a big scoreline for Barca? Is it going to be a tight affair?
Well, I think it's going to be tighter than Osasuna, so I'm going to go with 3-1 because I do think Galatasaray will score.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with the same amount of goals for Barca, but I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think we'll make it 3-0 tonight, and we'll come out firing. Hopefully we can do that and get ourselves into a comfortable situation early on in the game. You can take part in the Matchday Challenge on the Barca website, fcbarcelona.com, or on the Barca app as well. All you have to do is play the Matchday Challenge. One of the things you have to do is guess the score. You have the game quiz as well, and after the game you can rate it. If you are the participant with the most amount of points, you can win a game day jersey. And if you take part in all of the match day challenges of the season, you can win tickets to next season's El Clasico. So don't forget to vote. I'm going to go in and vote right now my 3-0 and see. Let's see who else has voted this. Right, the most voted scoreline is yours, Emma. 3-1, 26% of the fans agreeing with you. A 2-0 for 19% of the fans. And a 3-0 voted by almost 16% of the fans. So I'm not, I'm in the top 3 there of most voted results. Shall we have a look at the lineups for both teams? Okay, let's do that. Right, Barca's lineup for tonight's game features Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. In the defensive line, we have Serginho Dest. Of course, Dani Alves is not registered for this competition. Gerard Piqué, Eric Garcia and Jordi Alba. In midfield, we have Sergio Busquets, Frenkie de Jong and Pedri. And up front, we have the 3 signings from the winter transfer market. And those are Ferran Torres, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Adama Traoré. Those are the 11 men selected by Xavi Hernandez. Let's take a look at the Galatasaray lineup. Home side will be starting with our keeper on loan, Iñaki Peña. Defensive line of 4 with Boy, Nelson, Marcao and Van Arnold. A double pivot with Kutlu and Antaliai. 3 attacking midfielders in Ryan Babel, Chicaldao and Akturkoglu. And up front, the veteran Gomi. This team coached by Domènec Torrent, who received quite a bit of praise after his team's performance last week at Camp Nou.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he should, because I think he really set the team up very well. He has a team of okay players that realistically shouldn't be putting up a fight against Barca. But, you know, he does know the Barca style, so he knows exactly the way that Barca want to play and the pockets they want to fill. So he does have, he's done his homework. He has the credentials to play against them.
And of course, as you can see on our screens right now, there are several other games and potential opponents for Barca in the next round if we were to make it through to those quarterfinals of the Europa League. We've got Leverkusen playing Atalanta at this time as well. Red Star Belgrade against Rangers, who have a good advantage, and Monaco taking on Braga at home. Of course, later on in the day, West Ham will face Sevilla, Lyon will face Oporto, and Frankfurt have a 2-1 lead over Real Betis. The players are on the pitch. We're about to get started in Turkey. Barca looking to make it through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We were saying, Emma, that Barca need to come out strong, try and dominate the game from the get-go, from the early minutes, which is what we struggled to do last week, but we have done successfully in other games.
Yeah.
Talk about last Sunday against Osasuna. We can talk about the game against Napoli.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I feel this situation will bring out the best in Barca. This is when we see what their true colours are. And, you know, they'll know exactly what they have to do. They'll know they have to start well. And I think this game is going to be not decided, but definitely who has the more dominance in the first 10 minutes. So we're really hoping for that quick start and dominant play.
Definitely. We want Barca to enjoy having the ball, to push Galatasaray back. One of those things that teams when you feel that the opponent team is struggling. You saw against Napoli, for example, they just were not comfortable in bringing the ball out from behind, which was the difference compared to Galatasaray. They were very impressive last week, being in theory a quote-unquote the weaker team. How calm they were in putting together sequences of passes from behind under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that they did. They really impressed me. And, you know I've spoken before about the Akturkoglu player, but he was a huge part of that, even playing out from the back, because they knew once they got the ball to him, then you could just see the players just pushing on, which means they've huge confidence in his ability to keep the ball. They did really well. We may not have pressed as well as Xavi would have wanted. I think that was rectified against Osasuna. You could see the difference there. So again, I think that would have been looked at in training, and I think we're going to see a different team here.
Right, well, the game is just a few seconds away from getting started. Barca will have the first possession of the game, playing in the second kit, that is the purple kit. They will be attacking towards the left-hand side of our screens. We're here in the studio, and Diego and Bruno are at the Barça Cafe. We'll be connecting with them in just a minute there. We're waiting for the referee to blow the whistle of this crucial game, this first crucial game of Barca's week. We'll talk about the second game of Barca's week later on in the post-game, hopefully after celebrating a win in Turkey. It's Xavi's Barça against Dominic Storen's Galatasaray. Waiting for that whistle to blow and for the ball to start rolling, with Barca looking for the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Here we go, Barca with the first possession of the game, and it's Gerard Piqué playing with Eric Garcia. Right from the beginning, we can see Galatasaray at the moment staying in their own half, and Barca trying to move forward through Pedri with Ferran Torres. Lovely little pass by Ferran Torres through to Pedri, who tries to give it back, and Barca already have a corner kick in this game. Barca going forward early and successfully. That's 30 seconds of the game, and you already saw some of the sharp passing that we're looking forward to. The corner kick taker will be Frenkie de Jong. You can hear the boos from the fans, a hostile environment that Barca will be playing in today. Barca take that corner kick short. Frenkie de Jong over to Pedri. Jordi Alba has it now. Here is Frenkie back to Jordi Alba. Then goes the cross, and Iñaki Peña comes out to gather it.
Yeah, we've seen too much of that last week as well. Just silly balls into the area that Iñaki just came out and he just took very, very easily. So, you know, that's not what we want to see. The first ball into the box so easy for the goalkeeper to take. So they're going to have a look at that. What I would like to see is them get to the end line a little bit and try to pull the ball back a little bit. We didn't see any of that last week.
And what we can see is that Galatasaray aren't necessarily going very high up in their pressure. They're allowing Eric Garcia to make the initial run forward, try and divide, as Xavi says, and then they are going to try and keep it tight in their own half. Here's Serginho Dest. Barca lose possession there. As Frenkie de Jong was fighting for it. Now Aubameyang called for a foul on Marcao, one of the two centre-backs who did a fantastic job last week at keeping Iñaki Peña relatively safe.
Yeah, he did. He did really well. What I did notice about him, though, he does get drawn in very easily, and he was following Ferran Torres into midfield very, very closely and giving away fouls, even though the ref wasn't giving a lot of them. So Barca should have looked at that and realised that he follows his players and leaves a massive gap behind him. So, like last week, I would like to see midfield runners going into that area when Ferran Torres does drop into midfield, which he does a lot.
Careful now, because Galatasaray have possession, but there's a foul called in favour of Barca in pressure. I think it was Ryan Babel who fouled to Stegen as he was trying to play the ball out from behind. Yes, in the follow-through, Babel basically crashes into Marc-Andre ter Stegen. And Barca will be able to start from behind, with Jordi Alba playing in Barca's half. And Galatasaray just sitting, waiting, with most of their players in their own half. Gomi making a timid run at Gerard Piqué.
Yeah, so they've gone into that formation like last week. 4-1-4-1, and they'll push up. They'll try to stop Barca from playing into that midfield, as you can see. And Gomes is just trying to stop them playing across to each other, but not really effectively. What they're concerned about is that ball going into midfield, and you can see there Aubameyang just going into midfield because he knows that he is an out for the back four.
Definitely. We saw now Aubameyang coming back to receive the ball, not being followed by the centre-backs, as he was saying before. We'll see if that's just a one-time situation or what the game plan is in that sense. Now, Ferran Torres was trying to get away from Boy. He felt he was knocked down, but the referee didn't give the call. Now, an off throw-in in favour of Barca. With Eric Garcia returning to the starting lineup. After missing several games, he came back last week and has been impressive so far. One of the things that Barca have done well in the last couple of games as well, 3 out of the last 4 they've kept a clean sheet, and that helps build the team's confidence as well.
No, it's a huge, huge thing, and you know, we needed that. It's something we've leaked goals a lot in the last season. So it's a massive confidence boost for not only the back four and the goalkeeper, but for the midfielders as well, that they don't have to be pinned to the back four, that they can push forward a little bit because they can trust their defenders.
Well, now here's Adama hanging on to the ball, trying to go 1-on-2, and he does manage to get a corner kick out of it. There's a tight space for Adama to operate in, but he did try, and Barca get a second corner kick out of it within the first 5 minutes. Now on the opposite side, we'll see if they decide to take it short, or if the ball goes straight into the box. Frankie de Jong, who's gone over there, I think he's going to take it short. Frankie. Ball goes back all the way to Jordi Alba. Alba's going to put the cross in, looking for the far post. No chance there. Goes straight out for a goal kick. Diego, Bruno, I do want to ask you your initial impressions in these first 5 minutes of the game.
Well, not many things yet we've seen, I think, from any of these two sides. Well, what we've seen, of course, is again a Boye, that for me was one of the best players of Galatasaray the other day. The defender, the right back, showing another solid performance. It was now the chance for Barca from the set piece, but I mean, at least the ones that are dominating a little bit more are Barca, but I don't think we've seen too many things yet, Diego.
I think something's happening now. Over to you guys.
Opportunity there for Galatasaray. Gomi, who I thought was offside on the initial run. He managed to get himself inside the box. His shot was blocked. And then after the second opportunity, Barca did well to clear the ball. First clear chance of the game for Galatasaray. Now Barca trying to play from their own half. Serginho Dest under pressure by Aktürkoğlu, who's going to win it back. The shot takes a deflection and goes over Marc-Andre ter Stegen's goal. And it is a first corner kick for Galatasaray. And we'll see there the opportunity. Oh, he was just on Gomi.
Yeah, I think Dest was just keeping him on there. He did really well. He's just shown his experience, really. See, Eric Garcia gets totally drawn in. Such a strong player, Gomi, and he knows that he just needs to have a little bit of composure. Started really well, Galatasaray, and again, it's that player, Aktürkoğlu, that's causing problems up there.
And Jordi Alba did very well to get his body in there to block that shot. A corner kick for Galatasaray on the left-hand side of their attack. Waiting for the referee to allow that corner kick to be taken. In comes the ball, and the header goes over the crossbar. Sorry, Diego, I had to interrupt. Your thoughts on the initial part of the game?
Yeah, no, Galatasaray, that's very disciplined, is definitely going out for the win as well. They're feeling themselves. They're playing at their home ground. The fans are in it. And right now, I mean, Gomi with an early warning, but what a block by Jordi Alba. My goodness. If that one would have gone off, I don't know where it would have ended. But luckily, Jordi Alba was there to block that shot.
I was saying that not many things were happening. Well, now the chance has been for Galatasaray. Were a big defensive action for Jordi Alba. And now let's see, of course, if Barca can react after this first warning from Galatasaray.
We'll see. Barca in possession. Serginho Dest making the run inside. Adama tries to flick it out. A first touch to Frankie de Jong, who gets rid of a first defender, but a cross comes Marcao to dispossess him. Now, Gerard Piqué manages to get it over to Pedri, who just brings the ball down, turns and sends the defender the absolute wrong way. And he's just a master at that. Slowing down, speeding up the game when he needs to, slowing it down when it's convenient to him. The game is played at his speed, really and truthfully.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, he can play in any position, but a little bit higher up the pitch.
It's Ferran with the shot, which goes over the crossbar. A first opportunity for Barca there for Ferran Torres. We don't see him do that much, take shots from outside the box. Most of his opportunities come from inside, which is great news for Barca, of course. But sometimes you do want to see players testing the keeper from outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely going to be a message from Xavi. Xavi definitely wants more shots on target, preferably. But the basic message is if you don't shoot, you don't score. And you could see last week, you know, De Jong took a shot and straight away it just lifted the team a little bit because it rebounded off and we nearly scored from it. So yeah, Xavi's definitely going to be asking for more shots, considering the fact that Galatasaray do get players behind the box.
Oh, what a wonderful pass inside. Frankie de Jong sends it wide with his left foot. A first great opportunity for Barca. It was a beautiful ball played inside. I thought it had too much power on it. But Frankie did well to just control the ball, take an extra touch, and with his left foot, he tried to put it across Iñaki Peña. It just went a little bit too wide, Emma.
Yeah, it's a real shame, isn't it? Because it's just inches wide, absolutely inches. But those are the runs that we need from Frankie de Jong, from midfield, a deep-lying midfield run. Because as we've spoke about before, Aubameyang will drop in like Torres did last week. That's obviously their directions. But it's good to see that somebody is filling that space that they've left. And what a great ball from Busquets.
It was a fantastic ball by Sergio Busquets. I do feel that it probably had a little bit too much power on it, but De Jong did very well to keep it under control and continue his run. We want to see that coming from both De Jong and Pedri, making those runs in behind the defense. Piqué did well now to come across and recover the ball for Barça. 10 minutes played. We've seen a couple of good opportunities for each team. Gomi testing Barça, and Frankie de Jong there with the one-on-one with Iñaki Peña, just sending the ball wide. Now here is Eddie Garcia with space to run. Ferran makes himself available inside. Ferran over to Frankie de Jong. Barça first touch football. Sergio Busquets lost the ball in trying to find Adama out wide, and once again you see what Galatasaray are great at there, and the influence of Domènec Torrent. Just a couple of first touch passes and they got rid of Barca's pressure.
Yeah, it's like one-touch pass. It's just moving the ball quickly, which, you know, they did as well, also really well last week. It's something that you think that Barca would be able to counteract because they're used to that close pressing and the high press. But, you know, this is where Barca need to be careful. These long balls, when they get the ball out of their feet, looking up and playing the long ball.
And Aktürkoğlu there, not happy about the call. The flag was raised by the assistant referee, saying he was offside, and in fact he was. So I'm not sure what the complaints are about. Anyway, Barca recover possession, and it's Eddie Garcia once again initiating the run. He's going to find Jordi Alba, Ferran Torres, sorry, on the left. Ferran back to Alba, who plays it inside. Aubameyang drops back. Serginho Dest waiting for the ball and feeding it to Adama Traoré. Adama can find Dest, who didn't continue his run.
But this is what I was talking about earlier, about not being on the same page.
Yeah.
You don't know what Adama's going to do. He's very, very good at taking players on. He's good at crossing, but he's unpredictable, and you can see that Dest should have continued that run. But if Adama's going to take that player on, then you don't want Dest in that area. So it's just a little bit confusing for them at the moment.
Now Galatasaray playing in their own half, with Marcao. Barca trying to initiate pressure. We heard both Aubameyang and Xavi talk about the importance of pressure yesterday in their press conferences, but let's take a look at this opportunity with Ryan Babel testing Marc-Andre ter Stegen. The shot at a bit of an angle there, just as he came into the box from the right-hand side. Low shot, well saved by ter Stegen there.
Yeah, really, really positive from Galatasaray, but I just want to talk about the movement from Alexandru Cacaldau, because he was the one who initiated that space. His movement, he just peeled off. He went for a direct run and then stopped and peeled off. Just had so much space in front of them, and he actually drew the Barca defenders towards him, which means Babel had a little bit more space on that right-hand side.
Barca in possession in Galatasaray's half. Here is Eric Garcia. Eric plays it forward to Jordi Alba, who tried to play the quick pass out to Ferran Torres, but that got intercepted. Now Galatasaray playing in their own half. Barca's going to win it back through Eric Garcia, who makes a forward run again. Now Eric over to Pedri on the left-hand side. The ball's going to roll out for a throw-in, as Pedri wasn't expecting that pass. Let's go over to the Barca Cafe. We've got footage of the fans watching from there on our screens, and Bruno can talk to one of them, I think.
Yes, we are here with some of the fans that are enjoying the game at the Barça Café. Hello, what's your name? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Alfredo.
Alfredo, ¿cómo está siendo el partido? El Galatasaray ha tenido algunas, pero el Barça también la mejor del partido, la de Jong.
Sí, pero yo creo que de momento el Galatasaray, en comparación contra el Camp Nou, aquí está saliendo más ofensivo. Sí que es cierto que en el partido de ida estuvo muy defensivo atrás, pero ahora están siendo muy rápidos.
Well, he's saying that it's true that in the Camp Nou they didn't create any chance, but today, yes, the team and Galatasaray are trying to score, and that's why they are getting a more dangerous side. ¿Se ganará por eso o no?
Sí. Todavía hay tiempo.
We still have time and we're going to win, of course. Oye, estáis tomándose aquí unas patatas bravas, ¿no? ¿Qué tal aquí?
Sí, muy bien.
¿Buena la comida?
Sí. Muy buen servicio también del Barça Café.
Muy bien. Pues muchas gracias.
Gracias a vosotros.
They are enjoying some patatas bravas, a classical and a typical dish here in Barcelona, the Barça Café. Really happy with the food and with the service here at the Barça Café.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bruno, Diego, be sure to bring some takeaway food back when you're done there from the Barça Café. Just a couple of burgers and a few patatas bravas as well. And just don't forget, please, because we'll be peckish by the time that this game ends. 0-0 still at the 15th minute of the game, just a quarter of an hour played, and we've seen a couple of good opportunities for each team.
Yeah, we have. Galatasaray look a little bit more organised, to be honest, and it's going to take a couple of minutes for Barça to find their style, find their rhythm. As we spoke about before, maybe it's in this stadium and finding it very difficult to collect themselves. So we talk about a really good start, but perhaps they needed a little bit more time to get into it. But for me, what's very important and what's going to work are these runs from Frenkie de Jong. I think they're very, very important, and we didn't see enough of them last week. Aubameyang, if I can pronounce that properly, is dropping in a little bit, and he's doing that on purpose. And you can just see as soon as he makes that movement, de Jong will go into that space behind them, and that's definitely the tactic.
Well, we saw a pass by Jordi Alba, or a cross by Jordi Alba inside the box, looking for that run of Frenkie de Jong. And we've seen him already a couple of times making those runs in behind the defence, with Barca controlling possession absolutely in this game. But Galatasaray have shown that they can be a threat when they're on the ball and in Barca's half. Here is Eric Aubameyang dropping back again. Now his pass wasn't precise enough. He was trying to lay it off to Busquets. Long ball looking for Aktürkoğlu. I think it's going to be a busy night for Serginho Dest.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you can see Galatasaray are looking for that player, Aktürkoğlu, and they should be. He's on form. He's very, very good at keeping the ball. He's very quick. He's definitely their out. And that's where Barca need to be careful. But they can stop the service to him. The service is coming from the back line. Just need to put a bit more pressure on the likes of Victor Nelson, who is that player to play that long ball.
Now, long ball was played by the keeper, by Iñaki Peña, looking for their reference point up front, and that is Gomis, but Piqué won the battle. Barca in possession again. We're seeing a lot of Aubameyang dropping back to offer that initial pass, which opens things up. Now, the ball falls to Adama on the wing. It's a 2-on-1 situation for him again. Can he run away with the ball? He's fouled. Surely. No. Neither the referee nor the assistant referee felt like that was the case. And Barca will now get a throw-in after some good pressure by Frenkie de Jong and Sergio Busquets. Who's tripped over.
Oh, it's definitely a foul. I mean, it's 100%, isn't it? But this should have been a very main talking point as well, that they're not going to get things in this stadium. It's going to be a really difficult night for them. They need to keep their cool and just get on with it, because it's definitely a tactic that Galatasaray use to their advantage.
Now here is Dest trying to go deep. He manages to get around Van Arnold, and that should be a foul. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He did very well to get around his defender, and then Van Arnold just collapsed on him. Good move by Serginho Dest there.
Yeah, and Dest does really, really well in these situations. And we've seen him get forward a little bit last week, and we were very, very successful when he got forward. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that. But he can't get forward if Adama is going to be on the ball and try and take players on. So this is where you need to switch it up a little bit.
Well, in fact, on Monday we did get to talk with Dest at Media Day, and he says his approach to the game, or what Xavi asks of him in a game, depends on who he's got in front of him. It depends if he's got Adama or if he's got Dembele. If he's got Adama, he says he tends to sit back a little bit more and let Adama operate. If he's got Dembele, he knows that Dembele likes to go inside, and then he can overlap a little bit more. Barca have a mini corner situation here on the right-hand side, just outside of the box. Frenkie de Jong is going to swing it in. And a soft cross here by Frenkie de Jong. The header is going to go straight to Ferran Torres, who picks it up on the other side of the box. And Barca will have to start again from behind. I think it was Piqué who got his head on that ball. Just didn't give it the right direction. Barca need to be careful here, as Galatasaray were trying to up the pressure through Chicaldao and Gomi, but they did well to get it back to Stegen. And it's Eric Garcia starting things up again.
And you can see a high press there from Galatasaray, which is interesting. They obviously believe, and they'd be correct, in thinking that when Barca have the ball and they're in attack and they're in attacking positions, they're at their weakest. So that ball gets cleared and you can see Galatasaray really pressing high, thinking that, you know, this is the time to press when they're in good positions and that they can win the ball higher up the pitch.
20 minutes played. Galatasaray in possession. It's still 0-0. Clearest opportunity for Barca was for Frenkie de Jong. Now here's Ryan Babel, the veteran Dutchman. He's played for Liverpool, he played for Deportivo La Coruña as well in La Liga, now at Galatasaray. Long ball played by Nelson, finding Gomi. Gomi's going to find it out, play it out wide to Babel, who was offside there. And we do see a lot of that. Long ball looking for Gomi, and then they can start from what Gomi can manage to create from there.
Yeah, because he is a target player. He's very big, he's very physical, he holds the ball up well. So that's one of the reasons, well, the main reason he's on the pitch, to be that target player. But we do see a lot of them being caught offside as well, which is a little bit silly from them and frustrating, I'm sure, for the rest of the players. So they really need to be careful of that, because that's 3 offsides now. And they don't have the ball that much, so they need to use it when they have it.
And credit to Barca, of course, for forcing those offside situations. Now, I think Garcia called for a foul as he was drawn out by Gomi precisely. Tried to get ahead of him, and he does foul. The veteran striker, former Olympic Lyon. Got a replay now of that offside situation we were talking about just a minute ago. Barca recover through Jordi Alba. Here is Pedri trying to hang on to the ball. It's not that comfortable of a game so far for Barca. We've seen the opportunities come, we've seen Barca have possession, but it's not the same as what we saw on Sunday, for example.
No, and it's not the same opposition either. Galatasaray, even though they're 11th in their league, they're not doing very well. They're very, very physical and very, very organised. And, you know, they're a cup team, so this is them at their best. And this is not Barca at their best. We're losing the ball, we're not keeping the ball. We can't find Pedri because Galatasaray have just basically man-marked him. We're still trying to find Pedri, and we're just not doing it. We're not keeping the ball. So again, we're going back to last week, just not creating the chances. But for me, it's just about moving the ball quicker. They can recycle the ball. They don't have to hit those penetrating passes all the time. It's about keeping the ball and building up a little bit. Because you can see Galatasaray are sitting back, right? They just have everybody behind the ball. So it's about moving the ball from side to side and trying to create those spaces.
Right, well, Barca looking to play a long ball to Adama as Galatasaray managed to clear away the danger, only for a moment though, because through Busquets and de Jong, Barca win it back, and now Busquets feeds it out wide to Ferran Torres. He's got a one-on-one situation, gets inside the box. Ferran looking for an opening, passes back to Busquets. Adama's all by himself on the right-hand side. The cross, first touch by Adama. A Barca player goes down inside the box. The referee says get up. And Galatasaray clear away the danger. Barca will start again. Let's go to the Barca Cafe. Guys, thoughts on these first 23 minutes of the game as Barca push forward again?
Robert, it's proving to be a tight affair. We knew it was going to be, at least that was our prediction, right? Galatasaray sitting back, Bruno, very organized, very disciplined, and happy to give the ball to Barça and then just basically wait for their attack.
Yes, absolutely. They are with the lines really closed in defense, and Barça having lots of problems to find spaces. And once they have the ball, they have showed also that they are a dangerous team in the counter-attack and that they can create chances. So a really tough game so far, a really equal match, and let's see, of course, if Barça can take profit.
And what do you think Barça have to do in order to try to open those two defensive lines? What is missing so far?
Yes, of course, open the players up front, try to find also players in the middle, because if they just from the both wings they are not finding also possibility, they are not crossing balls, so why not also from the middle try shots from long distances, use the set pieces. Yeah, you have to use all the resources when things are not working so well. Ferran is being, I think, so far the player that is creating most problems to Galatasaray. So yeah, let's also use him, Alba and Ferran, this left that can create problems to the Turkish side.
Yeah, we saw Ferran try a shot from outside of the box. Unfortunately, that one flying wide. I feel like maybe that would be a good option to try to get a goal in, because the defense is proving very disciplined indeed. We heard Emma talk as well about how organized they are in the back, and right now they're not leaving Barça with a whole lot of spaces. We of course heard from Aubameyang as well that they practice these kind of spaces, or how to maneuver and how to work and function in these very tight spaces indeed. So far, still 0-0, 25 minutes gone. Well, fingers crossed that we get some more chances and, of course, a goal.
I mean, it's going to be a really equal game, because if you score a goal, years ago would be half of the tie, because you didn't consider any goal at home. Now it's not anymore the old rules. So if you score a goal, or if you let in a goal, things are not going to change so much. It's going to be really tight. I think this game between Galatasaray and Barça, but of course a goal will change, I think, the mentality of the players of Galatasaray, can hurt them a lot, and also supporters that are pressing a lot the team as we expected.
And how good would a goal be just before the break of halftime? Of course, that psychological goal that would send the Galatasaray players into the locker room with trailing by 1 goal.
Absolutely. I mean, Barça have the talent, and Barça can score at any moment, that's for sure. Now I think they are starting to control a little bit more and having longer possessions, and that's important, because in the first minutes has been really difficult.
Well, guys, with that being said, you can hear that the atmosphere here is tense. People are eating their food, they're having a good time, but you can cut the tension with a knife, I tell you that.
Right, well, we saw an opportunity for Pedri, and we've seen a yellow card for Sergio Busquets right now, as Barça had lost the ball and Busquets had to foul Chicaldao there. Just a little tackle as he'd been sent the wrong way. And fair enough, that tackle there by Sergio Busquets, interrupting that counter-attack. I want to ask the live chat a question. We asked it before, but still 0-0. Who do you think will be the first goal scorer of the game? Option 1 is Adama, option 2 Aubameyang, option 3 Ferran Torres, or option 4 another. Careful now, because Galatasaray are moving forward with Babel, and they force a corner kick. And yeah, we're not seeing that much of either of the three of them, Adama, Aubameyang or Ferran Torres, really in 2-3. Maybe Aubameyang the most, dropping back, and then we saw him just initiate a run before, which opened up things, but we need to see it more consistently.
Yeah, we do. And, you know, what we are seeing, though, which is concerning, is everyone's getting a little bit frustrated. You've seen Busquets getting frustrated because he felt that Turkoglu fouled Adama, which he did, I think. But this is what we're talking about, just keeping your heads, because, and Jordi Alba there as well, because this is how it's going to be.
Careful, because Galatasaray have taken the lead. Galatasaray have taken the lead in the game, and it's Marcao who scores first off of the corner kick, the header, the incoming cross, and the Turkish hell becomes even more hellish for Barça. Off of the set piece, this was one of the warnings. You don't capitalise on your chances, don't create enough of them, and out of any given situation they can score.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in a set piece. Any team can score, but this all comes from Busquets' free kick, where he lost his head a little bit, and then it's given out wide, and Jordi Alba's looking for the free kick, he doesn't get it. This is exactly what it's all about. It's about getting organised, just, you know, keeping calm, trying not to give away silly mistakes, silly corners, because this team are very good in the air. It's the reason why Barça haven't scored, and it's the reason why these guys have scored here. It's a great corner. It's a great header by Marcao. You can see him coming in there, the captain. Absolutely nothing Ter Stegen can do about it. It's down into the ground and into the corner. But you can't allow your player to get across you like that. You can't allow a player of that stature to get in and in front of you.
He runs in unmarked, really and truthfully, manages to get in ahead of Ferran Torres late. It is a great corner, though, a great service there to Marcao, who sees the yellow card for kicking the corner flag in his celebration, I think. But yeah, Diego, Bruno, the situation just got a little bit more complicated for Barça.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that goal has been received like a cold shower over here in Barça Cafe. Disappointment all around and unexpected, quite frankly.
Absolutely. A big silence here, of course. People a bit frustrated after letting in this goal, but of course the good news is that there's still long time to go. The atmosphere is absolutely amazing there in the Turkish hall. Now we're seeing the fans celebrating that goal, but long time to go, more than 60 minutes, so it's just one goal. Exactly. One goal and you are back there with equal things, so we have to fight for the equalizer now. Don't think about the past. This first half an hour that of course hasn't been a good game so far. Let's think about the future, change some things in halftime now in 50 minutes if it's possible, also adjust tactics and go for the equalizer.
I'd say we're seeing the corner flag being replaced at the moment, and I think, Bruno, you and I, we've got some work to do because the atmosphere over there in Istanbul is pumping, and we need these fans over here, of course, to have their spirits lifted as well. So hopefully we can still get back in it. There's still plenty of time left, as you said, Bruno, on the clock, but that 1-0 is, it hurts, it stings, Robert, it stings.
Yeah, it does indeed. Players restarted after, a lot of faff going on with the corner kick flag, but they managed to restart the game. Let's see if how this affects Barca in terms of morale, and see if we can rebound quickly off of it and manage to get back into the game with an equalizer at least before half-time.
Yeah, they just need to keep moving the ball. They need to stop making silly mistakes like that, Eric Garcia, and giving the ball away. And they just need to keep possession. They can do it easy. They do have space and time to do it. The problem is they're making too many mistakes. Yep. And it's really uncharacteristic of Barca to give the ball away like that.
Look at Pedri run away from his defender with a quick little turn. Pedri approaches the box, is knocked down on the edge. He's told to get up by the referee. Pedri's still down, covering his face. Now here is Serginho Dest with Adama. Barca play on 1-2 with Dest, who's going to cross the ball in, looking for Aubameyang. The ball goes up in the air after a header by a Galatasaray player, and Babel is going to be the one who knocks it out after Pedri had stayed on the ground, crashed into Marcao, and Pedri quite angry at the referee that the call wasn't given there. Barca are going to give the ball back to Galatasaray. Goes straight over to Iñaki Peña. 32 minutes played in this first half, and it's 1-0 to Galatasaray. Not what we were expecting at all, and just proof that Galatasaray are doing something very well, because Barca are really struggling to create opportunities against them.
Yeah, they're just working really hard. They're blocking out that ball into midfield. As you can see, they've everybody marked in midfield. It is up to Eric Garcia and Piqué to bring that ball forward to try and break that front press. And then once they do that, can they keep the ball? Can they keep it and stop giving the ball away?
Now, Galatasaray running away with it again, and it's through Turkoglu, who is eventually pickpocketed by Busquets. And now Busquets looking to play a long ball for Adama. That went nowhere. Galatasaray recover the ball. What we have seen is Aubameyang dropping back a lot and trying to play first touch to either of the wings, and those first touch passes aren't connecting with our players, mainly because Pedri is heavily marked. With Frenkie de Jong, it's more or less the same case as well, and Barca are just not stringing together long possessions there and managing to create advantages.
No, and it's not Aubameyang's game. You know, he needs to stay higher. He's an out-and-out 9. For me, I wouldn't want him dropping in. In fact, I was a little bit excited to see him playing because it could be, you know, that first time we're going to see that player, that number 9, being a proper number 9, and then allowing the other players to play behind him. But it's obviously Xavi's plan to have him drop in, and to be quite honest, for me it was working because De Jong was running into that space, and it is the only way to break up a team like this, to create that space for a midfield runner to go in. But De Jong has stopped doing that. You can see he's just walking there, and look at the space that Aubameyang has left behind him.
Now De Jong precisely making that run. The pass goes inside, a bit too ambitious maybe from way out by Jordi Alba. Alba's going to win it back in the battle with Babo. Now Pedri finds Serginho Dest. Barça haven't been able to create any advantages for Adama on the wing today. Now Pedri turns to his left. He's going to try and feed it out wide to Ferran Torres. The first pass wasn't successful. The second one, well, there isn't a second one. Pedri just gallivanting around the box and eventually got his shot off.
That just reminded me of schoolboy football, yes, when you don't pass to anyone. But again, it's just poor decision making for me. It's poor decision making. You can see the amount of players back there for Galatasaray. There's obviously players around him that are free in the wide areas, and he doesn't decide to give it. But it's the same with Adama. He is in situations where he has a 1v1 and he passes it. And then he's in a situation where there are 2 or 3 Galatasaray players around him and he tries to take them on. Again, we haven't seen any crosses from the end line, which is something that I would really like to see, because the ball into the box, the high looping ball, is exactly what Galatasaray want.
Exactly, and Barca haven't been able to run deep, neither with Adama. Dest once, who got away from Van Arnold and was then fouled. Jordi Alba we haven't seen at all on the left wing, making those deep runs that he likes to make. And yeah, Barca definitely need a bit of a makeover at half-time. But our question coming to you now is, let's see if we can get a little bit of optimism. What do you think the result will be, or the score will be at half-time? I hope at least it will be a 1-1 with Barca managing to create an opportunity, create a clear one, and get into half-time with the equalizer.
Control.
Now here is Jordi Alba. A pass over to Aubameyang. Torres. Back to Frankie de Jong. The referee was in the way there, but Barca still managed to get forward. There's an opening inside the box. Pedri scores the equaliser! The patience there by Pedri, letting 2 defenders sliding in front of him, and Pedri scores. There's the reaction of the Barca Cafe of that goal. And just as I said a minute ago that I was hoping the equaliser would come, what a move by Pedri inside the box. And the first time that Barca did manage to connect a few passes and find the free man.
Well, this is why he doesn't pass the ball, and we don't blame him. But what a great little reverse pass from Ferran Torres there. And Pedri just so calm. He could have easily shot there, easily. Most players would. And he just is so calm, just skips around him and places it. Considering that he had just taken 2 shots and they've gone into row Z, it just shows what composure this young player has. Absolutely fantastic goal from him.
Show me that goal on loop from now until Sunday, and I'll keep enjoying it every time that I see it. What was the reaction at the Barça Café, Bruno?
Look at here, they are singing un dia partit.
Soc supporter del Barça, soc supporter. Sempre arribaré, sempre arribaré.
You can hear it from the studio, un dia partit. The team has equalized, and this is fantastic. The atmosphere is brilliant here at the Barça Café. We are with some of the fans. What's your name?
Carlos.
Carlos, what about the equalizer?
We are going to come back, no worries. I'm trusting Pedri.
You were confident before the equalizer that Barça was going to come back, isn't it?
I was, but we have to fight it out. I'm not sure, though.
Thank you, Carlos. And more fans here. Hello, what's your name? Manel, what about this equalizer?
We are very expecting this goal, and we are hoping from the comeback, and Barça is going to win.
You are 100% convinced?
I'm 100% convinced.
Thank you, Manel.
You're welcome.
Well, you can hear the fans, everyone really excited after this equalizer. Let's see if now the team can continue for the second goal.
What a goal by Pedri. I mean, the way he just makes that little run inside the box, gets the perfect pass, and then just has the composure. Seeing players flying at him, he lets one go by, he lets the second one go by, and then just sets himself up in front of Iñaki Peña. I'm going to go ask Diego and Bruno that, but I feel like I've seen another Barca player in the past do that, and he used to wear number 10.
Don't start making comparisons. Nobody wants to be compared to him. No, I mean, Pedri's just such a young player, and he is under pressure. He has a lot of pressure on his shoulders because we are expecting him to be that player to unlock the likes of these teams and their defence. And he didn't have a great 30 minutes. In fact, I was thinking maybe Xavi might change him a little bit. He was getting bullied in there. But no, then he pops up and does this, you know, just so calm, so collective, so clever. And you can see, I think it was Nelson comes flying in. In fact, you didn't really see much of him because he came across the screen so quickly. And Pedri just tippy-toed around him and casually placed the ball in the back of the net. And such an important goal as well.
Well, now, there's been a crash between a Barca player and a Galatasaray player. It's Eric who is making the run forward. He crashed into Marcao, I believe. We'll see if both of them are all right and able to continue. Eric grabbing his right shin. And yeah, well, I've heard from Bruno, but Diego, that Pedri goal, I mean,
yeah, we were just talking about it. I was saying this is a Messi-like goal. I know that Emma is trying to refrain and stay away from these kind of comparisons, but after seeing such a dribble, I mean, that's the player that comes to mind. And Pedri's just showing that, well, the talent that he is at just 19 years of age. Incredible.
He's the leader of this team, and as you were pointing out, Diego is just 19 years old. But always when the team needs something special, Pedri is there. Pedri appears, and what a goal. Brilliant skills from Pedri, and this goal now, of course, before halftime, I think it has been in a key moment to say, hey, we are Barca, we are back here in the tie, and we want to win this Europa League, and for this, of course, we want to be in the draw tomorrow of the quarterfinals, and Pedri is leading now this epic comeback from Barcelona.
Exactly, and it's changed completely everything around. Of course, you heard the Barça Cafe pumping, singing the Dia del Partido as well. What I would like to know, if there's anybody that guessed the score that would have put Pedri as the first goal scorer. That's going to be interesting.
Yes, it's going to be interesting.
One of these shirts is staying here tonight.
Absolutely, because, I mean, of course, with the Galatasaray goal, probably that also we weren't expecting this. Pedri being the first scorer. We will have to see. We will have to see after the game if we have here some good analysts and has guessed good the score or not. We'll have to see.
Well, we've just seen Eric Garcia see a yellow card for reasons that I do not understand. He made the run forward. He slid down to try and keep the ball in play. Eventually, off of inertia, crashed into Marcao, who I have a feeling that kind of like stepped onto him, and Eric was the one who was booked. I mean, very, very frustrating call for Barca. And I do have a question for the live chat, and I'll ask you guys as well, Bruno and Diego. Who will be the next goal scorer for Barca? Because I'm just assuming that there's going to be a next goal.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna put Adama there. I'm gonna put Adama there. Nothing more to say.
I'm gonna say Ferran, because I've seen one of the most active players of Barca so far. Creating opportunities is one of the players for sure that creates more chances in Barca. So I'm gonna go for Ferran. And also, if there is a penalty, why not? Right now that there is not Memphis in the field, he will be the one taking the penalty. So I will go for Ferran.
All right, well, it's 1-1 at the moment in Turkey, and Barca looking to gain off of that momentum of the spectacular Pedri goal. I think it'll be talked about quite a bit from now until Sunday at least, but of course this 1-1 is not enough of a result for Barca to make it through to the next round. We lead at least another goal, and now Galatasaray are the team on the ball. Babel trying to put in a long cross. It bounces off of Jordi Alba. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Galatasaray have the ball. Marcao. First touch play looking for the oncoming run of Turkoglu. Adama does very well to recover. Diego Bruno, by the way, you're going to go and set yourselves up for the half-time challenge. Any last thoughts on this first half?
Well, I hope that with 1.5 minutes or something left, we can maybe squeeze in another goal. That would be a massive, of course, boost of confidence and bring that momentum into the second half in Barca's favor. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that this second quiz is also going to, maybe last a little longer.
Yes, no, don't go away, because someone here at the Barca Cafe is going to win this shirt, the one that we are playing today, the away kit. So don't miss it, because it's going to be really interesting, the quiz that we have prepared at halftime.
Okay, Diego Bruno, well, we'll definitely keep an eye on that as Emma and I rest at halftime, and we'll give it over to you guys. There's a minute remaining in this first half, plus stoppage time if there is any, and Barca have possession. And of course, it's a lot better to go into the dressing room with that 1-1 result. Even though it wasn't the greatest of first halves, at least you don't feel like you have as high of a mountain to climb in the second half.
No, absolutely not. And that goal is definitely going to bring a completely different aspect for Xavi. I think one of the things he's going to have to speak about is the referee. Unfortunately,
yes,
we don't like speaking about the referee, but he is having an effect on this game. And
just little calls or little decisions, nothing too drastic, but they are getting a bit frustrating. The yellow card for Eric, a couple of no calls.
Exactly, it can affect the players, because if they're getting cards, they have to be very careful. A player like Eric Garcia, who's playing at the back, he can't afford, absolutely, can't afford to make those rash challenges. And it wasn't even a yellow. It was, he was on the ball. It got away from him a little bit. His momentum carried the ball, and he ended up, crashing into another player, but it wasn't his fault. So just little things that they need to be careful of. Also, I think Xavi's going to want to see more movement. He's going to want to see the ball getting moved a little bit quicker. I'd like him to talk about trying to get the ball in behind the back four of Galatasaray and get to the end line and try pullbacks, because we haven't seen any of them. And Galatasaray will really struggle with them, because they're very poor on the second movements of the Barca players.
As I said, trying to make a run here, but Barca did well to track back and take the ball away from Gomi and Babel. There's been 3 minutes of added time given in this first half. One of them has already been played, and let's see if Barca can create at least an opportunity to try and score in these 2 extra minutes that we have of first half. Now, Eric Garcia slowly making his way forward from behind. No pressure on him. Eric over to Jordi Alba. Frankie de Jong had made a run inside the box. Now it's Aubameyang who's going to make it. A long ball by Jordi Alba. Aubameyang got just enough of a nudge from Van Arnold from behind to not be able to get to that ball. We're seeing replays of the goals right now. The header by Marcao, which gave Galatasaray the lead, and just the amazing goal by Pedri, letting 2 defenders slide in front of him, staying calm and composed, and finishing in front of his former teammate, Iñaki Peña. 1 minute remaining in this first half. 1-1 in Turkey. If things were to end like this, it's extra time. Don't necessarily want that, but we do have Pedri on the pitch, and he is the king of extra times. Now here is Piqué over to Eric. Piqué again. Also trying to make a last move in this first half. It's essential, of course, to keep possession and not allow Galatasaray to pull off one final counter-attack. Dest hanging on to the ball. Inside pass to Frankie de Jong. Barca under pressure, but Frankie manages to find Adama. Dest is all by himself on the right-hand side, but no one saw him. Adama is looking the wrong way. 15 seconds remaining. Here is Eric. Eric over to Piqué. Now Dest. He's going to receive the ball again. Can he put a cross inside the box in time? Here he is, a couple of step overs. Dest over to Adama. Adama, the cross coming in from Adama Traoré. The header by Aubameyang just floats over and goes and hits the crossbar, I believe. What a final chance for Barca, with Aubameyang hitting the crossbar there. It looked like it was looping over Iñaki Peña. Just didn't fall enough. Nice little soft cross by Adama Traoré. wasn't the easiest of headers for Aubameyang there, but a good opportunity came off of it. The referee has blown the whistle, and it is half-time at the in Turkey. 1-1 is the result. Emma, quick impressions before we go for a break?
I think Galatasaray have surprised Barça a little bit with their pressure and their slick passing, but Barça have the class, they have that upper hand. Really fantastic goal from Pedri. Really nice ending. Adama coming in field and letting Dest stay wide. It was very successful. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that unpredictability from Barça.
And we'll see if we see an improvement as we did last week in that game at Camp Nou against Galatasaray in the second half. Barca are going to need it, of course, because we need at least one more goal to make it through to the next round. We're going to take a small little break and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Hello, Goolers. This is Camp Nou Kitchen, the place where two Barça players will swap their jersey for an apron to play a different match. Empezamos en 3, 2, 1.
¿Y si me quemo, qué pasa?
Kickoff! Today on Camp Nou Kitchen, two talented players from the Dream Team.
¡Míralo, míralo! ¿Listo?
Pedri González and Eric García.
Te espero. Si hubiese tocado algo mucho más difícil, yo creo que hubiésemos quemado la cocina.
They will cook a dish selected by the best nutritionist in the club.
Vale, chavales, xiquets, casi lo tenim. ¡Gol, gol, gol, gol, gol, gol, gol, gol! ¡Hola, gol de Eric!
¡La salsa de Eric! But just one of them can take home the Camp Nou Kitchen Cup. Oye, pero yo con esto es trampa.
No, no, no.
No, no és trampa, vinga, també vull aquí, t'ajuda també.
Sí que és veritat que ha tingut una mica d'ajuda.
3, 2, 1...
Lo estaba haciendo todo mal.
¡Manos arriba!
Ya está, ya me han robado. Picante.
Pica,
El ganador de la Camp Nou Kitchen Cup es...
Eric.
Eric.
Pedri.
Bueno, este es, como todos recordamos, pues, como he dicho, el momento personal más increíble que he vivido por todo, por el momento, por lo que significó y por todo lo que vino después. Un placer haber vivido ese momento en mi persona.
Good evening, welcome to the Champions League semi-final. Chelsea versus Football Club Barcelona.
El 6 de mayo de 2009 pues, fue a nivel individual, a nivel personal, pues el momento o el punto más álgido que he vivido en mi carrera en mi club.
Placing forward to the edge of the area, Lampard tries to flick it in. There's an penalty and there's a goal. First shot on goal and SEN has made it Chelsea 1, Barça 0.
Aunque en momentos pues ellos fuesen superiores, sobre todo en su campo. Y bueno, si nosotros teníamos algo era eso, ¿no? Que confiábamos en nosotros mismos, en lo que fuese y pues bueno, cosas del destino pues nos puso en ese momento para dar ese paso. La jugada pues empezó en nuestro medio campo más o menos y bueno, cuando Xavi abrió a Dani pues ya pues un poco a la desesperada pues vas avanzando para llegar al área, vas avanzando para encontrarte con cualquier situación. Sien no despeja y cuando el balón le cae a Leo, yo estaba en la frontal y bueno, me cedió el balón y salió. Y le pegué con todo el alma, como dije, y salió perfecto, salió a la escuadra y bueno, a nivel personal pues el momento más fuerte que he vivido como jugador del Barça. La recuerdo como si fuese hoy.
on the pitch and off the pitch, but today they're rivals.
Oh, the knife.
Today on Camp Nou Kitchen, Fridolina Rolfo. Hola.
¿Qué tal?
And Ingrid Engel.
You know how to get your groove on?
Okay, am I gonna make this?
In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cook off! They will face each other in a culinary challenge overseen by the best nutritionist in the club.
Well, just as it happens, I've got some snails right here. Shall we give them a try?
I really like trying new things. Where's the music?
We need music, right?
This is the rhythm of the night.
The night. Oh yeah. But what we do know is there's just one Barça footballer can take away the first trophy of the season. It's not the league nor the Champions League, it's the Camp Nou Kitchen Cup.
Should you? There, go for a deep rave.
10. No. 9. 8.
Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
I feel like you're tricking us.
No, come on. 3, 2, 1. It's a goal. Bill, goal, Bill. Hands up. Goal. No.
Are you happy with your dish?
I got a spicy one.
Yeah, me too.
Nom.
The winner of Camp Nou Kitchen is...
They're making it better than my one.
Things are all square over at the Camp Nou, and that means that right now at halftime it is time for the second quiz of the day. It's going to be the 90-second challenge. I am joined by... Hugo and...
Zaid.
Hugo and Zaid. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Morocco.
He's from Morocco already. Where are you from?
Colombia.
Colombia and Morocco in the house. Gentlemen, quick question before we start this quiz. Does any of you have that beautiful second away kit already, the lila one?
The little one is great.
Do you have it already, Hugo?
I'm sorry? Do you have it? No, I don't have it.
Hugo doesn't have it.
Me, same for me. I don't have it too.
So you both very much want that one, right? You guys are ready to take part in this quiz. It's the 90-second challenge. I'm going to be firing off questions. We're going to see who is able to answer the most questions. We've got Bruno on the counter. You ready, Bruno?
I'm ready. VA is ready. Please, loud answers because we have to hear it clearly, okay?
That's it. Loud answers. I'm going to take a little step back so that there's no cheating going on, and we're going to start with Hugo, okay? All right. When the clock is ready, I'm going to start firing them off. Clock is ready. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The number of Champions League that Barça have won, 5 or 6? Correct. The year that Barça have won their first Champions League, 1992 or 94? 92 is correct. In which city did Barça win the Champions League final against Arsenal, Rome or Paris? That's incorrect. Who is Barça's top goal scorer this season, Aubameyang or Memphis? It's Memphis, also incorrect. Rival that Barça has eliminated in the playoff round in the Europa League, Lazio or Napoli? Correct. Did Barça win their last visit in Istanbul, yes or no?
Yes.
Correct. Who was Barça's first Dutch coach? Was it Cruyff, Van Gaal, or neither one of the two? Who was Barça's first Dutch coach? Cruyff, Van Gaal, or neither of the two?
Neither of two.
Correct. Barça's coach the season that they won the 2015-16 league season was Tata Martino or Luis Enrique?
Tata Martino.
They did not win this league. It was Luis Enrique. For how many seasons did Maradona play for Barça? 2 or 3?
3.
2, also incorrect. Galatasaray coach Dominic Torrent was the assistant for which Barça coach? Guardiola or Luis Enrique?
Guardiola.
Correct. How old is Gavi? 17 or 18?
18.
He's 17 years old. Which Dutch player played for Barça and Galatasaray? Frank de Boer or Ronald de Boer?
I have no idea. The second one, I don't know.
The second one, Ronald de Boer, that's incorrect.
Time,
and with
time,
that, we have
out.
come to an end.
Okay.
5 is the number to beat. 5 questions is the number to beat. Are you ready for this?
Yes, we try.
We're going to try. We're going to switch the cards around here.
6 answers, eh? I have
6?
Yeah,
okay.
6 is the good number.
6 is the number to beat.
6 answers
6
for
is
Hugo.
the number to beat. Sí, señor. So, when they tell me that the timer is ready, we are ready to fire off these questions. We are ready in 3, 2, 1. How many UEFA Cup or Europa Leagues have Barca won? None or one?
One.
That's incorrect. The last time that Barca won the Champions League, 2017 or 2015?
2015.
Correct. City in which Barca have won the Champions League final against Juventus, London or Berlin?
Berlin.
Correct. The only Barca player to have scored a hat-trick this season, Memphis or Aubameyang?
Aubameyang.
Correct. Which player is currently on loan from Barca to Galatasaray, Iñaki Peña or Marcao?
Iñaki Peña.
Correct. City where the Europa League final will be played this year, Sevilla or Paris?
Paris.
That's incorrect. The Barca coach who became league champion in the 2010-2011 season, Guardiola or Luis Enrique?
Guardiola.
Correct. The Turkish goalkeeper who played for Barca, Rustu or Bonanno?
Rustu.
Correct. How old is Pedri, 18 or 19?
It's 18.
That's incorrect. Xavi Hernandez played a friendly against Galatasaray in Malaga. Is that true or false?
False.
That is incorrect. Who is the first Argentine coach in the history of Barca? Herrera or Menotti or neither?
Neither.
Incorrect. How many Copas del Rey have Barca won? 30 or 31?
31.
Correct. City that has Barca supporters club, Bucharest or Budapest?
Budapest.
Correct. Apart from Barca, did Johan Cruyff play for Levante or Espanyol?
Levante.
Correct. Who hasn't scored a goal yet this season? Dest, Busquets or both?
Busquets.
Incorrect.
Time. Time's out.
That's it. That is the end.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 answers, so we have a winner here. We have a winner.
All right, we have a winner.
Shirt.
Winner, chicken dinner. That beautiful second away kid.
Beautiful, actually. That's super beautiful. I want to thank you guys. Thank you too for this competition.
Sportsmanship.
Thank you. Well, I would love to share this with my friend right there because he was the one to invite me to this bar. So I'm so lucky, and I want to thank you for this competition. And it's so nice, like, to win such a shirt. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for participating. Congratulations. We hope that with this win, that Barca, of course, also get the momentum to pick up the win in this match.
Let's hope so. Yeah, let's hope that Barcelona win the UEFA.
There you go. There you go. Well, we've got a very happy winner indeed. And with that, guys, over in the plateau, back to you guys for your impressions of this quiz.
Yeah, no, amazing. I want one of those shirts. Why can't I take part in these quizzes, in these 90 seconds challenge? I feel like I would do well in them. And Emma, you were getting most of the answers right as well.
Yes, I was getting all of them right, and I really want that purple shirt. It's my favorite one.
Exactly. We need to get one to gear up for what's happening in just a couple of weeks or a week and a half at the Camp Nou.
Yes, we do. I want to see that. Well, it's going to be absolutely packed out, so it's very, very exciting. And yeah, I think I'm going to wear a Barca shirt.
Yeah, we are talking, of course, of that clash that we're going to see at the Camp Nou between Barca and Real Madrid, the women's teams in the Champions League, and Barca looking forward to repeat in their success in the Champions League, that historic game that will be played at Camp Nou, which is going to happen in just 2 weeks on the 30th of March. And once again, Barca's women's team having an incredible season.
Oh, they're just unbelievable, aren't they? They're just like a catalyst for women's football. The whole world are looking at them. They're watching them. They're trying to emulate them. They won't. It took many years for them to reach their level, and they're just absolutely fantastic, and very, very proud to be around them, really.
And it is going to be a sold-out crowd at the Camp Nou to witness that game between Barca and Real Madrid. But let's focus on today. 1-1 at half-time. Barca looking to make it through to the next round of the Europa League. Not the best of first halves. What do you think Xavi's message will have been at half-time?
Well, I think that the team have tried to do what he wanted. You could see how they were trying to play. You could see Aubameyang coming into midfield, but they were just trying to force the play a little bit. So as soon as Aubameyang came in, they left a big gap behind them, and you could see De Jong trying to make that run. But they were trying to pass the ball into De Jong from many, many feet away. For example, Jordi Alba trying to pass the ball near the halfway line. It just doesn't work. What you want is to be able to get close enough to pass it on the floor to De Jong, which could work very, very nicely. What we saw at the end of the half, Adama coming in, coming off that touchline as we've seen him hugging the last 45 minutes and the game prior, and he's just coming in midfield, leaves a little bit of space for Dest, and it worked. It upset Galatasaray. They didn't really know what to do with it.
Well, you talk about Adama, and he is the player who's been replaced at half-time. On comes Ousmane Dembélé, who had a good impact on the game the other day at the Camp Nou against Galatasaray, and also had a super performance against Osasuna with 2 assists, and he was also involved in that Riqui Puig goal. The second half has started, and we're going to launch a question for the live chat on YouTube. What do you think that Barca need to do in the second half? You can leave your comments on the live chat. Emma, what do Barca need to do in the second half?
Well, I definitely think it's interesting, and I think that a message was sent on to Adama to come in midfield to see how Galatasaray would fend against it. They struggled. This is where Dembélé comes in, as you spoke about before. Dembélé likes to come in field, and it just makes it just different tactics, which it means Dest can get forward. It's very, very effective getting forward, and just changes it up a little bit.
Well, Barca trying to string together their first attack of the second half. That pass by Aubameyang didn't find Ferran Torres, and it is a throw-in for Galatasaray, very deep in their own half. And let's see what contributions Ousmane Dembélé can make in this second half. Now here is Eric Garcia. Barca need at least 1 goal to make it through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Here is Aubameyang finding Frenkie de Jong. Dest sends it over to Dembélé. Now here is the Frenchman. Quick turn, and he's got the run of Serginho Dest to support him. Dest back to Dembélé. Van Aanholt went hard into him, and it looks like he's now hobbling after running into Dest after his own tackle. Serginho Dest with the cross, looking for the head of Pedri inside the box. Galatasaray managed to clear away the danger initially. Now Barca will start again from behind with Eric Garcia, and we did see what you were saying, Emma, that Dest is already making his presence felt up front as Van Aanholt goes down after colliding with Dest going in for the tackle.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it already. Dest tends to stay a little bit deeper when Adama's on, and that's what he should do because Adama loves to get down that line. But you can just see from Dembélé here, what he does, he brings the ball back, for him to be able to face his defenders and run at them. And that really opens things up for runners like Dest and even De Jong if he wants to run into that space. And you can see it works because Dest got on the ball. It's a really, really painful looking knock from Van Aanholt there. But better from Barca, and Dest did get on it. For me, I just want to see him bring it to that end line. I know I keep saying it, but just bring it to the end line because Galatasaray are good in the air. They have got 2 very big centre halves in Nelson and Marcao who will clear the area in those loop-in crosses. So bring the ball to the end line and cut it back.
Right, well, player's been halted because of that injury to Van Aanholt. Let's go to the Barca Cafe. Diego, Bruno, what are your thoughts on this substitution that Xavi has made at half-time?
Yeah, it's a good tactical change, I think. I mean, Emma spoke about it as well, Dembélé, and the difference maker that he is, that he probably would be used in the second half. It's a little bit of a surprise for me, though, Bruno. I don't know about you, that he's already been put on so early in the second half.
Careful.
Yes, I mean, in the end, Dembélé's...
The double shot, Barca score! Barca score! Yeah, Emerick Aubameyang! Fantastic goal for Barca there, and there's the reaction, the late reaction of the Barca Cafe. Aubameyang, after a couple of rebounds and a couple of saves by Iñaki Peña, manages to put the ball into the back of the net, and Barca take the lead in Turkey, Emma.
Absolutely great. Wonderful play there from Barca. You can just see the ball goes out wide. Ferran Torres just puts it in. Lovely ball in from Jordi Alba. They clear their lines, but there's the shot there. It goes into traffic. Iñaki makes brilliant saves, by the way, but this is where Aubameyang comes into place, always in the right place at the right time. Really good pressure from Barca, and exactly what Xavi would have wanted for them. Take your shots when you can, and that's what it led to.
Well, it comes from a shot from outside the box, which ping-pongs around the box. It creates a second opportunity for Pedri, and it looked like a sure thing that he was going to score. Great save by Iñaki Peña, staying on his feet, sticking his right arm out, and then off of that deflection. Frenkie de Jong does very well to see Aubameyang in the middle there. He just heads it over to him, and Aubameyang does the rest. And I mean, you can't stop scoring this guy.
No, he's an out-and-out fox in the box, and you know, having a close connection with Arsenal as well, the fans are crying over him, and you know, he's really missed at Arsenal, but he's really shown his true colours, and it just shows that if you're in the right place, the right environment, and you're happy, it's going to bring out the best in you. And you can see he's really enjoying his football and just loving being where he is.
Well, Diego, Aubameyang has definitely given the fans at the Barça Cafe a reason to be happy.
Oh, definitely, Robert. I mean, the fans have been lifted off of their seats. I don't think anybody expected a goal this soon in the second half, but Aubameyang did it. It's 2-1 for Barça.
Yeah, we didn't expect it. I hope more are coming. I hope more.
Do you think there'll be more goals, or is it going to be tight until the end?
I bet for 3-0 at the beginning, but right now it's like I'm confirmed with that.
What about you? What do you think of the game so far?
My answer is 1-2. I hope that's it. So it's my answer now.
It's Barça. Barça is now leading in the scoreline. Do you think it's going to be tight until you said you put money on 3-0? Now with this scoreline, it's
for free, but but in fact I lost the nothing. But
are you guys enjoying your experience here in Barça Cafe?
Yeah, it is an amazing experience. It's very good.
Have you guys tried any of the food?
The patatas bravas. We'll try more.
The patatas bravas, Robert, the patatas bravas. And don't worry, we heard your request. You said burgers, bravas. It's all coming your way for you and Emma. Don't worry about it. We're going to sort you guys out.
Okay, thank you very much, because I was going to mention it again. As Barca tried to build in Galatasaray's half again, and let's see how much this opens things up. It's Dembélé inside looking for Pedri, who had to just quickly release the ball. Managed to find Serginho Dest out wide. Oh, Dest does beautifully to get in between two defenders on the turn. Dembélé, Pedri, quick pass through, the cross by Ferran Torres goes off of Boy. And now it feels like Galatasaray is starting to feel the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, and you can see it looks like they're getting a little bit tired. They don't have that fire in their belly like they had in the first half. And that can happen. It's very difficult for a team to play like that for 90 minutes, get behind the ball, chasing the ball. Counter-attack style football takes a lot of energy. And you can see they're getting a little bit tired. And this is where Barca can turn the screw a little bit. I said 3-1 at the start of this game.
Well, you're one goal away.
Maybe it could be more.
Here's Dembélé, Barca for the corner kick, which has been taken short. Dembélé on the left, back to Jordi Alba, and comes the cross, the flick by Sergio Busquets. Long-range attempt by Pedri, which goes straight into the stands. And he was the one who equalised for Barca and could have easily made it 2-1 as well, because the Aubameyang goal is preceded by an attempt by Pedri, which had a great reaction by Iñaki Peña.
Yeah, really good. I mean, just great play from all Barca players there, really. But just the fact that there are that many numbers in the box is exactly what Xavi would have wanted. Get in the box. As soon as you see the ball can be crossed at any time, get players in the box.
Now here's Frenkie de Jong trying to create a quick opportunity off of a Galatasaray mistake. It was Iñaki Peña who was trying to play from behind. He sent it straight to Dembélé. Barca didn't manage to capitalise or create a good enough opportunity off of it. But now Barca do seem to have a bit more of a hold on the game. As I say, that Galatasaray look like they can run out in transition. Here is Babel. Babel feeds it to the wing. And the Turkish side are going to try and enjoy possession in Barca's half for the first time in this second half. What a great start for Barca after the break with that Aubameyang goal. Ooh, great sliding tackle by Serginho Dest as he was being outrun by Aktürkoğlu. Managed to slide in from behind and flick the ball away for a corner kick with a sliding tackle. Now Dest has gone down. Looks like he's in pain. Let's see if we get a sense of what happened in the replay. Can't really see anything awkward. His left knee gets underneath him a little bit, maybe?
No, it looked to me like it was muscular. Hopefully it's just a cramp and not a hamstring problem or anything like that, because we don't need to lose another right back in this competition. Well, we don't have many.
We don't. One of them is not registered, and now a second one has gone down. We've got a replay of the second goal. Once again, it's a shot by Sergio Busquets, which takes the deflection off of Aubameyang. Iñaki Peña does well to save it. Then he does well to save the Pedri opportunity as well. But as the ball pinballed around the box, Frenkie de Jong managed to get it back to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who, since he arrived, has just got, I mean, I don't know how he does it. He can't stop scoring. Let's see if Dest can get back into the game. But no, Barca are going to make the substitution. Dest has to be taken off. It does look like it's muscular. He's limping off, and on comes Ronald Araujo for Barca. So bad news there for Barca, as Galatasaray have a corner kick. And we'll see who the player picked players right back is. We've seen Araujo and Eric do it this season. See which one of them it is. The ball was swung in, and Barca managed to clear away the danger. Guys, we were all in a great mood after the Aubameyang goal, and now Dest goes down to an injury. Bruno, Diego.
Yeah, I mean, not a great way. Of course, the perfect way to start the second half, but a bit of a downer, no doubt about that, seeing Dest limp off injured.
And it's a shame because he was playing really well, not just today, in the recent games. Of course, with Alves not registered in this competition, leaves you with some more problems in that right back. In the end, has been Araujo, the one coming on for this. He's not a natural right back, but of course, he has been playing there sometimes, and he also has did it well. So hopefully, let's see if Araujo can have a good game. And we also hope, of course, that Serginho Dest can have a quick recovery.
Exactly. Let's hope he can recover. Obviously, we talked about the fact that Dani Alves will be available to play in the league. So, in that sense, no threat of missing right backs for the Clásico that's coming up next. But let's hope that this is not a long-term injury and that Dest can come back very, very soon indeed.
Yes, let's hope so. Of course, if Barca were to make it through, and it's looking a little bit more like that now with this result, the next round would not be for another 3 weeks, so that would give a little bit of time for Serginho Dest to recover. Just hoping it's not a long-term injury that he's picked up here, something that could keeping out for longer than 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's walking off the pitch is a good sign.
Yeah.
The fact that he put his hand up straight away is not a good sign. But he wasn't carried off, he was walking off. So if it was a long-term, like a rupture or anything like that, he wouldn't be walking. So that is a good sign.
Okay, well, Barca trying to build something here, and now, of course, they've lost a little bit of depth on that right flank. Ousmane Dembélé was trying to play a sneaky little pass into Frenkie de Jong. We can't expect, of course, Araujo to make those runs that Serginho Dest makes. He does like to get forward just a little bit and place in a couple of crosses, but Dest is a quicker player than Araujo, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely different players there. But they have the players. I would ask De Jong to play a little bit closer to Dembélé. But now it's up to Dembélé. He knows he doesn't have that support from Dest. He knows he's not going to have that overlapping run. So he has the option to go either down the wing or infield. So as far as he's concerned, just more options for him. But I would definitely ask somebody to play a bit closer to him to give him that support.
Well, Galatasaray trying to run out in transition here, and Turkoglu does very well to get away from a couple of Barca players and feed it out to the left for Ryan Babel, who's switched sides now. Babel has Araujo defending him. And Galatasaray will enjoy possession in Barca's half, and they're definitely not giving up. Here is Nelson feeding it out wide to Bui. Bui cuts inside. He's going to put a right-footed cross in. The header by Chicaldao. Piqué clears it away, but Galatasaray recover the ball. Now here is Van Arnold. The shot by Van Arnold. Oof. That was very, very close. Looking for the top right corner of Marc-Andre ter Stegen's goal. And it looked initially like it was going to go very high up, and then it dipped towards the end. Curled inwards.
You can just see that. That was a bit like Carlos free kick
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But you can see by Ter Stegen that he was worried about it, because it looked like it was going wide first of all, and then it came just curled back in and just dipped under. Very dangerous strike from him, and that's definitely alarm bells. You don't want to invite him higher up the pitch, and now particularly that Dest is not there. That's exactly what Galatasaray will try to do, is push their left back and halt up. So they have to try and stop that threat.
Now foul called in favour of Barca in midfield, and Daliai is the player who's being warned by the referee as we've hit the hour mark. Barca have managed to turn around a complicated situation as Galatasaray had taken the lead off of the set piece, off of the corner kick in the first half. A header by Marcao gave them the lead. Then with goals by Pedri in the first half and Aubameyang in the second, Barca managed to take control of the game and of the tie, of course. Now Aubameyang fouled from behind. He'd initially lost the ball, did well to recover the ball himself. Araujo driving inside. Barca need to just be patient now and hang on to the ball and try and just look for open opportunities, as Galatasaray will, as the minutes go by, surely have to open up a little bit.
Well, they will, because they're pressing higher now. They know they have to go for a goal. And you can see it already that they're trying to press high. And this is where Barca come to life, as you've just seen. They're able to break that press. And once they break that initial press, particularly when Kutlu comes in, they break that press and there's loads of space for them. So Barca could enjoy that. But what they do need to do is recover the ball quickly.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it already, Galatasaray, when they get the ball in counter-attacking style football, when they get numbers forward, they're very, very dangerous. So Barca need to keep their energy levels high and work to get the ball back when they lose it.
Now Barca doing well to do just that and recover the ball before Galatasaray could get anywhere near Barca's half. Oh, Busquets, what a lovely pass over to Frenkie de Jong.
Always looking for that ball, right? We've seen how many balls they've tried to play that ball in from Busquets, from Jordi Alba, just trying to clip that ball in behind the first centre-back of Galatasaray. Obviously, they've done work on that, and they know that the centre-halves get moved a lot. And what they're doing is they're trying to draw one of them out, mainly Victor Nelson. And then that gap, they're just trying to clip that ball in behind him. It hasn't really worked so far, but it's definitely, you can see what they're trying to do.
Well, now Barca are having long possessions here, and as I say it, we lose it. So there's the commentator's jinx for you, but quick recovery by Sergio Busquets. I do have a throw-in, and they're going to make a substitution with Mustafa coming in. He started the other day at the Camp Nou. More than likely he will be replacing Gomi. Yeah, that's right. First substitution for Galatasaray. Barca had to make two, or he made one at half-time with Dembele replacing Adama, and were forced to have Araujo come on to replace the injured Serginho Dest. We wish Dest, of course, the speediest of recoveries. And Dominic Torrent looking for a different kind of firepower up front now in Mustafa Mohamed replacing Gomi. Pedri finds Dembele. It's a lot more open space now. Here is Pedri going for the little roulette. He was knocked over. Barca looked like they'd lost possession, but Dembele did well to recover. Now here's Frenkie de Jong. Barca look just a little bit more poised here with the ball. Frenkie de Jong on the turn. He had two defenders on him. Lost the ball, but Barca quickly recover again. And that's what they're doing well now. It's a little bit like the Galatasaray players just having to chase the ball around a little bit more. Now, good interception to win it back by Van Arnop. Babel through to Mustafa. Cross inside, looking for, well, a shadow maybe, because there was no one in there. Barca clear the ball away, guys. The game has slowed down, Diego, Bruno.
Yeah, exactly. But Bruno and I were just talking about that, how the game has sort of slowed down after the 2-1, but also obviously with the substitution, the forced substitution that Barça had to do, substituting Destov for Araujo. I was asking Bruno, how do you think that changes Xavi's game plan for the rest of this game?
I mean, of course, Araujo is a different profile of a right back as Dest. Well, first of all, of course, he's not a natural right back, that's for sure. But Dest, of course, always goes up front and participates a lot in attack, and Araujo probably is a more defensive profile in this aspect. Of course, the team can be more solid in defense. It's true that the advantage is not a big one, because one goal of Galatasaray will, the game will be decided in the extra time, but at the same time, if you are able to score the third one, you will be much more calm to face the final minutes of this game. Let's see if the team can go for this third one.
In that sense, are you perhaps a little bit surprised that maybe he didn't opt for, say, a Mingueza in that position?
I mean, of course, Araujo has been more protagonist this season in defense, and Xavi in this option, he more or less has been clear which one he prefers, at least in kind of decisive moments like now. Mingueza hasn't been playing in recently games, and he's probably not in as form as Araujo now.
All right, guys, well, back over to you. I'm very curious to hear what an expert like Emma would have to say about this.
Yes, but as the Barca were trying to create an opportunity there, the shot by Pedri was blocked on the edge of the box. I thought might have to interrupt there, but the shot was eventually blocked. Now Barca going at it again. Aubameyang trying to set himself up for the shot. Ball flicked away, but Barca still recover it close to the box. Now bottling Galatasaray into their own box. Barca in possession with Eddie Garcia. Aubameyang drops back, is tackled from behind and dispossessed, and Galatasaray want to run. Ball fed out wide to Babel. Araujo gets to it before him though.
They really need to be careful there, Barca, when they're on the ball and they're playing it around, they're trying to keep possession. When Aubameyang comes in, he's getting really tightly marked by Marcao, and he's not getting anything. The referee's not going to give him anything. So Barca really need to be sure about that pass into him. It's when Galatasaray are the most dangerous.
Now Barca lost the ball to a throw in there, and there's going to be a substitution. Frenkie de Jong for Gavi. He might be the exact thing that Barca need, that extra bit of energy that he always brings.
Yeah, absolutely, and I am quite surprised he didn't start, to be quite honest. Although, who do you start him ahead of de Jong is a really difficult decision. But what Gavi is really, really good at is finding the ball in between those lines, in between the press, and then driving and making those penetrating runs and passes. He's excellent at it. He's one of the best. And it is a game for him to do that. You know, if it had been 1-1 still, I think he would have been brought on a lot earlier.
Yes. Well, let's see what impact Gavi can have on this game. And Barca have only a 1-goal lead here in this game against Galatasaray, which leads me to ask, live chat, how nervous are you? Do you think Barca have this under control? Do you think that an extra goal would allow you to feel a lot more calm about the situation? It could come now after the quick turn by Pedri inside the box. In the end, he loses the ball. So live chat, let us know, how nervous are you? Diego, Bruno, are you nervous there at Barca Cafe? Are you sensing that the fans are nervous?
Yeah, definitely we can feel the tension heating up over here as the minutes tick by. Still that 1-goal lead for Barca, of course, the narrowest of margins is not enough for the fans over here. We want to see more goals, and so do I. My appetite has sort of gone after smelling all this delicious food. I would like to have a meal at some point, and I can only do so if we have a little bit more of a goal cushion over here. So that 1-goal lead right now, look, we're winning, but against a team like Galatasaray at their own ground, we got to see more. We got to see more. The nerves are very high over here, I'll tell you that.
Right, well, Barca moving the ball around in Galatasaray's half. Busquets wins it back. Busquets can find the pass inside the box. Oh, there it comes. No! As Ferran Torres was getting ready to fire away, across came Marcao. with the sliding tackle to clear the ball out for a corner kick.
What a tackle from Marcao. Just look at this. He has to cover so much ground. Look, he's nowhere near him when that ball gets played in. Has to be very, very careful. Great tackle, really well timed. And it had to be perfect, didn't it?
Yeah.
He's had a really good game, apart from scoring, but a really good game here today.
And what a pass from Busquets as well, obviously,
Yeah.
to find Ferran. Sneaky little pass in there. 20 minutes away. Barca are 2-1 up. The goals were scored by Pedri and Aubameyang. Here is Pedri. Back to Busquets. Busquets back to Pedri. Inside pass to Aubameyang. Quick passing by Barca. The ball is fed out to Ousmane Dembélé. Here comes the cross. Oh, it was looking for Aubameyang. Another good clearance by Victor Nelson, and the ball went off of the referee. Very frustrating here. The new rule when the ball goes off of the referee is that play has to be interrupted, and he gives the possession back to the team who had it, which is a bit of a debate right now because there was a clearance. Looked like Barca were in possession there.
Well, it is controversial because he didn't do that in the first half when the ball came off him. Fair enough that Barca had the ball and there was no pressure, but they just retained the ball again there as well.
Well, it looks like he got hit in the face there. He's just struggling to recover there. Let's go to the Barca Cafe because Bruno has some fans next to him.
Yes, while you were asking in Europe if the fans are nervous, here we have also went to see if the fans here at the Barça Café are nervous about the situation. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Luis.
Luis, ¿estás nervioso?
Un poco. Hay mucha intensidad Galatasaray y bueno, aún no está sentenciada la eliminatoria.
Well, it's not close yet the tie, a bit of nerves, says Luis, pero ahora el Barça también está teniendo ocasiones.
Sí, la verdad es que sí, pero es que si nos ha pasado siempre en Europa hay que sentenciar la eliminatoria.
He's focusing on close the tie, giving the importance that the team has to close the tie, so this point of nerves that are here. Luis, ¿de dónde eres?
De Ecuador.
Ecuador, muy bien, muchas gracias.
A ti.
Luis from Ecuador, and here we also have more Barça fans that are enjoying the game. ¿Cómo te llamas?
James.
James, también de Ecuador, amigo de Luis.
Sí, soy su hermano.
¿Que habéis venido de visita aquí a Barcelona? ¿O?
No, vivimos aquí desde que éramos pequeños.
Well, they live here since they are kids and they have come to Barça Café to enjoy the game. ¿Nervios?
Bueno, tenemos controlado el partido, yo creo. Simplemente tenemos que evitar las contras de ellos. Están cansados, así que por ahora no. Estamos jugando bien.
Game is under control. They are tired and he thinks that basically they have to be careful at the counter-attack. Optimista, entonces, ¿marcaremos el tercero?
Yo creo que sí. Vamos a confiar, seamos serios, no nos fiemos, pero yo creo que sí.
Be a serious team, of course, but he believes that the team can score the third goal. If someone has to score, who do you think is going to be? ¿Quién crees que marcaría este tercer gol si llega?
Vamos a decir que Gavi. Está bastante enchufado, está jugando bien y se lo merece.
Well, he goes for Gavi as the scorer of the possible Barça third goal. Some more impressions here from Barça Café.
Thank you very much, Bruno. And while you were talking to those fans, Dembélé had a free kick opportunity which went straight into the face of Ryan Babel, who's been knocked down now and struggling to recover there. Minutes, then the seconds tick by, and Barca still have the advantage. We'd feel a lot more comfortable with another goal, though.
Yeah, we would. And how many times have we seen this before when Barca have looked in control and we've nearly sat back in our seats and taken the 3 points or whatever, and the other team have scored and scored again even. So nobody should be too relaxed just yet because these last 15 minutes are crucial, obviously.
There are going to be a couple of substitutions for Galatasaray. Of course, if Galatasaray were to score another goal, it would be 2-2 and we would go to extra time because the away goal rule has been taken away, which I'm particularly a fan of. I think if you scored the same amount of goals as the other team over 180 minutes, you deserve to at least get a chance to play it out in extra time. But let's hope that's not the case tonight. 2-1, a couple of substitutions, as I said. Moruchan coming on for Chicaldao. Ryan Babel was also taken off. Fresh legs for Galatasaray as they try to go for the equalizer. Let's hope that that opens up a bit more space for Barca to operate in the home side's half. Managed to score a third goal. Now the ball goes all the way to Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Ter Stegen finds Gavi in midfield. Oh, lovely turn by Gavi, and he can start the run here. Oh, he's called for a foul as he was protecting the ball. The referee said he opened up his arms and hit Marcao in the face, and it is a fair assessment, yes. It's a shame there, because Gavi had done well to turn and run away with the ball. So it will be possession for Galatasaray. The frustration of Xavi there with that call.
It's a little bit frustrating because it's different if he actually meant it. He's just trying to keep his balance. He is only little.
Yes.
So,
whereas Marcao is quite huge.
He's very, very big man, and he went to the ground very, very easily, but he got his free kick. It worked.
Yeah. You can start to sense the urgency of Galatasaray, because this foul called on Gavi is close to the halfway line, and they're now going to just try and play the long ball in, looking for a chance here at the set piece. There goes the ball. Nelson heads it on. Piqué clears it away. Get a sense that in the first half that would have just been taken short, and they would have rather had possession.
No, it's going to be a very, very interesting final 15 minutes, that's for sure. And I mean, we haven't seen that much pressure from Galatasaray. I don't feel like they're very enthusiastic in getting forward. Not like we did initially after Barca's second goal. We've seen a real wave of pressure from Galatasaray, and that's calmed down a little bit. And perhaps that's down to Barca getting ball, keeping possession. But, you know, they have to be very, very careful here.
Yeah, Turkoglu was at it again, feeding a ball inside the box. Barca did well to recover possession. Now Pedri, with a couple of turns in the end, loses the ball. A bit careless there maybe, but he does track back and win it back for Barca again. Now Ferran Torres trying to run away with the ball. He had two defenders on him, and they took it away from him. Inside pass, and the shot with no angle goes straight out. Goal kick for Barca.
Well, just as I was about to speak about Barca and having a little bit more experience in keeping the ball, this is where you need your players to keep the ball. Then Mustafa does that, and it was completely ridiculous and very frustrating for his teammates, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was no chance that was going to go in. Maybe he was just looking for the ball to rebound off a defender and get a corner kick out of it. I mean, it's the only way that makes sense at all. Galatasaray in possession. We need to see Barca on the ball just a little bit more in this final quarter of an hour of the game. Marcao. Ball goes out wide to Turkoglu, who is looking for a dangerous pass in for Mustafa. Good defending by Piqué, who slid down, and now Mustafa fouls Busquets. Immediately admits to it. Referee is going to allow Barca to play on. 13 minutes remaining. This result puts Barca in the next round of the Europa League, but a lot can happen in 30 minutes. Oh, careful with that pass by Ter Stegen. Araujo might have to foul Turkoglu here. Did well not to do so. Just slowed him down enough for the Turkish attacking midfielder to crash into another Barca player. I think that was Busquets, and now here's Dembélé. Dembélé over to Pedri, and Pedri out wide to Ferran Torres, who has the overlap of Jordi Alba. Alba can pass it back to Ferran. Ferran inside the box. Can he get a shot off? The shot by Ferran rebounds off of Kutlu, I believe, and it falls into the hands of Iñaki Peña. Double substitution for Barca coming. Langley and Memphis.
Well, this is very interesting. Obviously, he's bringing in Langley to come in at the back, which is very, very risky. So he's going to upset that back four somehow, unless he's coming. I can't imagine him putting him in as a holding midfielder.
No, I mean, we did see Piqué having a conversation with Xavi just a few minutes ago. I don't know if there's an issue there, maybe. Piqué feeling some sort of discomfort. We'll find out soon enough, because Gavi's just seen a yellow card for a late tackle on Antaliay, a clash of knees. And we'll see who the players replaced are.
I imagine it will be Ferran Torres.
Yeah.
Also, he's looking a little bit tired. That's who I was talking about when I was talking about you need experienced players to keep the ball. He gave away the ball, and I imagine that's who Depay is coming on for.
Pedri was the player who saw the yellow card. I thought it was Gavi who committed the foul. The substitutions haven't been made yet, but it's Langley and Memphis who are going to come on. Now Iñaki Peña playing from behind with Nelson. Galatasaray have the ball just a bit too much for my liking at the moment. Putting Barca under pressure. Now Barca not allowing them to get out of their own half. Aubameyang makes a run at Iñaki Peña. Released by Peña. Allows Barca to win it back, but only momentarily. Long ball looking for Aktürkoğlu, who gets in behind Araujo. He gets inside the box. Aktürkoğlu looks for a low cross to the far post. No one there to meet it, fortunately. And he was very unselfish there. Could have gone for his own shot. Barca did well to track back and make it a little bit uncomfortable for him. Now Jordi Alba clears.
He made the wrong decision, didn't he?
He did.
He made the wrong decision.
Fortunately for Barca.
Yeah, and he's looking at Moreton going, where are you? But he looked up and he's seen that a player was coming, but he wasn't on. He should have kept going. He has the pace. He's very, very clinical. Again, just poor decision from him.
I really felt like he could have gone for his own shot there. And Barca were fortunate that Moreton was not in position to meet that cross at the far post. All right, so Aubameyang is the player taken off, and Piqué is the other one who also goes off. Langley and Memphis replace him. And I do feel that like there might be a reason there. We know that Xavi said last Thursday, Piqué was kept on the bench at the beginning because there was a little bit of discomfort there, and that might be the issue once again as Langley comes on to replace him. We saw Piqué, as I insist, come to the sideline to have a chat with Xavi just, 5 minutes ago, I think.
Okay, well, that explains it, because there's no way he'd be making that decision if he didn't have to, if he wasn't forced into it. Yeah. I can understand Aubameyang coming off. He tended to disappear towards the end there, and to bring in fresh legs as a forward is always something that is that you can do as a manager. It's a little bit worrying to have to change your back line at this stage of the game.
We can see him, he's walking off all by himself. He was huffing and puffing, and I don't think in frustration. Might be the wear and tear of the game. I'm just hoping that he'll be fine for Sunday. I am being reminded as well that he was one yellow card away from suspension for the next round. So, I mean, there might be that factor in there, but I don't think that would influence Xavi's thinking with 10 minutes remaining in the game. Now, to stay and plays it long. And Memphis is the player who's playing in the middle of attack there, and Ferran stays wide. The opposite of what we saw in the first half the other day. Barca battling for the ball in Galatasaray's half. It's Gavi and Pedri leading that battle, and in the end it's a foul called in favour of Barca. Bit of rough and tumble in there, but Gavi and Pedri did well.
Again, it was a really good tackle initially from Marcao. He's just all over the pitch. I'm not sure it actually is a free for Barca, to be quite honest, and he's calling out for free for him, considering he was outnumbered 3-1.
Well, we'll take the call. A set-piece opportunity for Barca, and Memphis and Jordi Alba are ready to cross it in. Maybe this is all we need, just one set-piece opportunity, one goal, and story over. But no, that didn't happen. And here comes Galatasaray on the break. Good defending by Barca. This gives me a chance to go back to the Barca Cafe. Can you feel the nerves of the fans, guys?
As before, or continue to rise with the passing of the minutes. It's still 2-1. Barca are still, of course, in front, but I think the ghosts of the past are still lingering vividly, I should say, in our minds, and we just want that little bit more of a goal cushion so that we can be a little bit more comfortable so late in the game.
Yeah, now it's about, of course, to manage well these final minutes, keep the advantage, slow a bit the game. Why not now that there are just 7 minutes remaining? So yeah, let's see if Barca can keep this good result.
Yes, let's see if we can, as Aktürkoğlu was once again bringing danger to Barca's box. His cross was deflected by Araujo and went into the hands of ter Stegen, who I believe has not yet had to make a save in this game.
He had to make a save in the first half, didn't he? In the first.
Oh yes, a shot by Babel. Yes, that is true. A low shot by Babel.
Are we calling that a save?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it had to be made. He needed to be there. Right. Another substitution for Galatasaray with Van Arnold coming off. The Turkish side looking desperately for an equalizer. Barca looking for this to stay put or extend their lead. With just over 5 minutes remaining, you can sense the nerves on the Barca bench. We're sitting on the edge of our seats here. Jordi Alba now taking his time with this throw-in.
Oh, I think he's getting things thrown at him.
Jordi Alba's getting things thrown at him. And that is to the frustration of everyone, including Galatasaray coach Domenic Torren. We saw a glass of water being flung at him. And now, of course, this causes a bit of a discussion with all of the players. Iñaki Peña getting involved as well, coming out of his box. Gavi just saying, come on, let's play. Now Jordi Alba goes back to take the throw-in, and we never want to see that, of course. There was another glass flung at him.
Well, it's pretty ridiculous.
It is very ridiculous. Now Jordi Alba kicks the ball into the crowd. That's not going to be to the benefit of everyone, of anything. That's we don't want to see this.
Well, you know, the Galatasaray fans are known for this kind of behaviour. They have had warnings in the past, and you can see the players trying to calm them down. It's what Iñaki Peña is trying to do. He's over there trying to calm them down. There's 5 minutes left of the game.
Right, well, this is causing all sorts of discussions on the sidelines. Girardi getting very vocal about it. Jordi Alba walking away from the situation. This, of course, means that there's going to be a lot of added time on, and you really never want to see this. Of course, you want the players to feel safe in doing something as simple as taking a throw-in. Jordi Alba's going to see a yellow card for kicking the ball into the stands, and obviously he's not going to share that opinion of the referee, but it's a fair assessment. There was no need for it. Anyway, let's hope that the game can restart soon. I do get a sense that this is also frustrating the Galatasaray players, that their fans are doing this because it's slowing down the game. And you can see all the security guards standing in front of the fans as the game will restart. Jordi Alba with the throw-in on the left. Barca looking to keep possession. Things very tight there. And Galatasaray eventually win it back. So I'm assuming at least, what, 5-6 minutes of added time will be given on? Will be added on, sorry?
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, I think the referee himself will want to round this game up. So I don't think he'll go over anything that he needs to go over. I think it's going to be minimal time, to be quite honest. Because you can see the fans, you could hear the fans 15 minutes ago, they were getting louder and louder, and you can see the amount of security over there. Yeah. So there's definitely tension in the stadium.
Well, let's see if Barca can just put this away and not have to suffer in these last few minutes. Barca hanging on to the ball now. Oh, Dembélé, careless passing. And they throw into Galatasaray. Let's go to Barca Cafe one last time. I hope it's one last time and that there are no surprises in this game. Diego Bruno, it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about that as well. We hope that it's going to be the last connection, and that there's not going to be extra time, because that's the last thing that we want to see right now. Galatasaray in these final minutes with all this tension, with the crowd really into it, score that goal and send this game to extra time, which, you know, who knows what would happen then.
Yeah, of course, all this situation, it doesn't benefit the home side Galatasaray because they need to score a goal. Time was wasting. Of course, it's going to be added in the stoppage time, but at the same time, Barca players have to be intelligent. Jordi Alba probably wasn't deserving this yellow card after all the situation. And I honestly understand Jordi Alba. He was trying to play, and they were hitting him some objects and bottles of water. But anyway, let's see if Barca can be following and achieving a good end of the game. Some tension also here at the Barca Cafe with the decisions from the referee. It's an experienced one, Orsato. He has managed and officiated lots of important games, and of course is why he was designated also today. But final minutes now, we're gonna know shortly stoppage time, Diego. Hopefully it's not gonna be so long, and let's see if Barca can keep this good result with long possessions now, managing well these final minutes of the match.
All right, well, Barca have a chance at the set piece here as Memphis had won it back. It was running away and was tugged from behind by Bayram. We're going to hit the 90th minute mark, and Barca with a chance here. Jordi Alba and Memphis next to the ball. There's going to be 6 minutes of added time. A lot of time was wasted with the object throwing on the pitch, plus there's been substitutions in this game as well. Plenty of them. Memphis is going to cross it in. Here comes the delivery by Memphis. Oh, what a chance there for Sergio Busquets. He just tried to tuck it in with the inside of his right foot and sent it wide. I think he could hardly believe he was in that situation, really and truthfully. Maybe his body wasn't in the right position.
Yeah, he's not the most agile of players anyway, and I don't think he was in a good position. If you wanted to fall to somebody in there, probably wouldn't be Busquets, but you know, at least he got a shot off and he managed to make contact.
Careful now, here is Langlais, who's been put into a compromised situation. Manages to slow down the attack, though Galatasaray still have the ball. In comes the cross, cleared away. Now Memphis can hang on to it. Ousmane Dembélé. Dembélé driving down the middle. Acceleration of Dembélé, finding Ferran Torres on the left. It's Gavi, sorry, that's Gavi. Over to Busquets, Dembélé. Back to Pedri. Now Barca have the ball. They need to have it for the next 4 minutes and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. They just need to keep it. Said about recycling the ball. They don't have to pass forward. They just keep it. This is where their type of football comes into play.
Lovely little bit of passing there. An open opportunity. The shot, hits the crossbar. I believe that was offside anyway. The flag wasn't raised. We would have seen if it had counted. Yes, the flag is eventually raised. There was no need for it now, really, truthfully. Ferran smacking it onto the crossbar, and he was offside.
Very slightly.
Very slightly, though.
Very slightly. He actually held his run really nicely, and just needed that ball to be released a little bit earlier. But it wouldn't have made a difference.
No, it wouldn't.
Because he hit the crossbar.
Strong recovery by Araujo, which allows Barca to have possession once again. The seconds aren't ticking by as quickly as I would hope. Here is Araujo over to Dembélé. Inside pass to Pedri. Good turn by Pedri back to Dembélé. Lovely sequence of passing by Barca. Can Memphis keep possession? Yes, he can. Memphis gets to the edge of the box. Oh, there's an opening for Jordi Alba on the left. Alba back to Memphis. The shot by Memphis goes wide. Oh, that would have sealed the deal.
Oh, he deserved it, didn't he? He did wonderfully just before that, just using his strength to keep the ball. Really nice turns. It's really difficult. It's with his weaker foot, he just drags it across his body. You can see Jordi Alba just holding his head. He thought it was going to rattle the back of the net there.
3 minutes remaining, and that, of course, would have been the icing on the cake for Barca. A very complicated game, but they are holding up at the moment. Here is Araujo. He's as strong as they come. He manages to shave off the pressure of Aktürkoğlu. Pedri has space to run. Inside pass to Dembélé, but Dembélé is going to pass it back to Busquets. Now Barca get into Galatasaray's half. Alba looked like the ball was getting away from him. Did manage to get it to Memphis, and there's a handball call in favour of Barca.
Araujo's doing really well there, playing right back, and with a player like Aktürkoğlu, who's actually switched over onto their left-hand side, I think it's a mistake from Galatasaray because they're up against a really competent defender, whereas when Dest is there, he likes to push forward and leaves gaps. So it's not a good idea for him to go onto that right-hand side. Aktürkoğlu, he should go back onto the other side where he's against Alba, who pushes up higher.
Here's Pedri out wide to Dembélé. Dembélé has a one-on-one situation for him. He could go deep. He could look for the end line. No, he decides to slow down and pass back to Pedri. Always a wise decision to get it to Pedri, wherever you are at. Also hang on to the ball on the right flank. Dembélé can drive inside. Back to Pedri again. Also doing well to keep possession now. It looks like the Galatasaray players are quite tired here. Gavi with Busquets. Now Barca doing well to pass it to a player who's near to the passer. To Stegen. 1 minute left. Long ball played by Ter Stegen, looking for Dembélé. Was initially headed away, but Barca will have it again. Here is Dembélé. Shot by Dembélé. Right-footed strike by the Frenchman. Just misses the target.
Yeah, it wasn't a million miles away, was it? But in those situations, when he has a 1v1 and, you know, there are no other defenders around him, he needs to go at the player. He needs to bring the ball to the end line, especially when there's 30 seconds left of the game. Talking about experience and managing the game, again, with players that don't have that ability.
Well, there's 15 seconds remaining now, and Barca could have one final opportunity here as the ball is fed out wide to Ferran Torres. He's going to decide not to run and just hang on to the ball until the referee blows the final whistle. A wise decision there. The referee blows the whistle. The game has finished, and Barca have won it and are through to the next round of the Europa League. What a way to have a suffer 2-1 win. The Galatasaray took the lead with a 1-0, with the goal by Marcao at the set piece, but Barca turned it around with goals by Pedri and Aubameyang. Wasn't the shiniest of performances, but they got the job done, and they are through to the next round. Stay tuned, because we are going to be talking about the game, and everyone's going to be reacting to it in the post-game show, so stay tuned.
Well, 2-1 it ended in favor for Football Club Barcelona, and with that we are through to the next round of the Europa League. What a match it was. We had to wait until the very end. We were at the edge of our seat, Bruno, but Barca managed to show their composure, show their also the maturity, and basically be able to put up with this kind of pressure in this late stage of the European competition.
Yes, second consecutive win away in the Europa League. The team did the job in Napoli. They also have done it today in Galatasaray in a really tough ground. So Of course, probably hasn't been the best game today of the season in terms of playing football style, but the most important thing was to win. The team has done it really well, and tomorrow will be in the big draw of the quarterfinals of the Europa League.
Of course, and what a draw it's going to be, and all the Barça fans here are delighted. It's a little bit difficult to listen to you, to hear you, Bruno, over all the noises and the cheers that are still coming from the Barça fans. But why don't we take a look at the statistics now and see how the match ended for Barça? Because although it maybe wasn't the most, call it the brightest game of Barça, the most convincing game, I do feel that they did have the majority of the control over this match. We're seeing the statistics here, 68 possession for Barça, and look at the shots, Bruno, 18 shots with 4 of them on target, 3 shots still for the home side. But, well, again, looking at those stats, Bruno, what does that tell you?
Of course, possession. Barça has controlled the game.
We see the 18 shots. I mean, clearly Barça taking the initiative and bringing the game to the home side.
Yes, and also shows that Galatasaray has created the chances with 9 shots. A really different side we've seen from the one at the Camp Nou. Today, trying to go for the goal. They got good chances. They actually scored the opening goal, but in the end, we've seen a good Barça. And yeah, as I was saying, probably not in their best day, but the most important thing was to win. It was really difficult side, really difficult ground also, so we'll have to congratulate the squad for all their effort and their job.
And I think it's another badge as well for this team, the fact that they managed to, again, as we talked about, keep their composure and even being up with the margin, just that 1 goal in a difficult stadium like the one of Galatasaray, able to keep that score line. We talked about how, you know, in previous occasions, with all that momentum and that support from the home crowd, we maybe would have seen Barça get a little bit weak underneath, but that wasn't the case today. Barça managed to keep control over the game and, of course, bring home that victory, and with that, advance through the next round. Fans are still surrounding us. Why don't we try to get some reactions from the fans who also suffered along with us? Do we have any brave takers here?
What's your name? ¿Tu nombre?
Fernando, Ferdinand.
¿Eres de aquí, de Barcelona?
De Barcelona.
¿Cómo has visto el partido? Al final el equipo ha ganado.
El equipo ha ganado, partido complicado, ¿no? En Turquía. Y al final, pues hemos podido pasar. Mañana a ver el sorteo, a ver quién nos toca, ¿no?
Well, he says that has been a tough side, but he's really excited, of course. Tomorrow will be the draw. It was difficult in Turkey, in Galatasaray, and yeah, in the end the team has won and he's happy.
Y Fernando, ¿te esperabas un partido tan duro? Did you expect such a tight game?
La verdad es que no. Me esperaba un partido parecido al de Nápoles, donde la ida, pues el Barça no pudo sacar un buen resultado, y luego en Nápoles hizo un buen partido, y me esperaba un partido parecido, y ha costado mucho más, y creo que el Galatasaray no se ha encerrado, que eso nos podía haber dificultado un poco más, pero nos ha salido a buscar un poco y el Barça le ha costado mucho.
Our friend is saying that he was expecting a similar match to the one that we played over in the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, maybe an easier match for Barça to kind of break the defense, and was surprised at the setup of the home side and the fact that they took it really down to the wire.
Fernando, muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you, Fernando. One of the fans that is really happy. And actually, we also have around here 2 people that have guessed the score correctly with the 2-1. No one has been able to score to know the opening scorer. So this means that this shirt will be given between these of the 2 fans that are here waiting. And in the next minutes, we're gonna give this shirt with an open draw and legal draw between these the only 2 that have guessed the score correctly.
I think though in our panel, I mean, I know I went for the 2-1. You went for the 2-1 as well, didn't you?
2-0.
2-0. 2-0.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right.
But you should be involved in the draw. I don't know.
I hope that my name is in that draw. I hope that my name is in the draw. I didn't get the goal scorer right, but again, who would have predicted that one of their midfielders, Pedri in this case, would have scored the goal? Let's move on to our likes and dislikes of our match, Bruno, because there's a lot, I think, to like about this match, but let's start with your dislike, perhaps.
My dislike is going to be the possible muscle problems or injuries of Piqué and Dest. Of course, in the case of Dest, you still have Dani Alves registered and to play in La Liga, so it can be a good option to replace him. But of course, Gerard Piqué is a really important player for Barça, and I was a bit worried when I saw his face walking off slowly from the field. In less than in 48 hours, more or less, the team will be in Madrid playing El Clásico. So I am a bit worried because you always want to have Piqué in such an important day as El Clásico, and this is going to be my dislike. My like that Barça again in Europe are winning away, because we have been suffering a lot in the recent years when the team was going away. Not easy easy grounds. San Paolo, now the Diego Maradona Stadium, now in Istanbul, two really tough sides, tough grounds that the fans are there, and we have seen it in the final minutes of this clash. So my like, of course, is to see Barça back again in Europe winning. Yeah.
I think that's a very good point that you're making there, Bruno. The fact that, again, we're seeing this team literally mature in front of their eyes, winning very comfortably so over in the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium against Napoli, of course, and also tonight against, well, what we all expected would have been a weaker side than Napoli, but they didn't prove to be a lot weaker whatsoever, in fact, yet still coming away from Istanbul, of course, advancing to the next round. And like I said, earning another badge. I think, though, on the topic of maturing in front of our eyes, my big like is going to go to Pedri. Again, the leader of this team, no doubt about it, just at 19 years of age. It looks like he's been playing for Barça since the youth academy, scoring that wonderful goal as well. I mean, a player that we just can't get enough of.
He's the leader of this Barça right now, I will say, with Ansu Fati out, injured. Now Pedri is this new leader, and he's so young, with 19 years old, shining again in another superb performance, a key goal in the end to be back in the match. So, and it's an unbelievable goal. It's this kind of magic that without touching the ball, without doing anything, just his rivals going down, trying to stop him, and they haven't been able to stop him. And what an amazing goal that Pedri has scored today, shining in Europe.
And we saw that dribble as well, of course, taking on the entire Galatasaray team. It looked like they were defending him with 5, 6, 7 men at some point, and he was still commanding the ball and really running circles around the Galatasaray defense. I think my dislike is similar and has to be in line with yours, Bruno, is the injuries. Again, we're late in the season, of course. It's crunch time right now. Everything comes down at this point in the season. This is really what you play for throughout the entire season. And to see a player like Dest fall out, we of course don't know the gravitude, the degree of the injury yet, so we hope, of course, for good news. But to see a player like this, fall and get injured so late in the season, and Piqué as well, you mentioned, is not good. It's not good.
The only positive aspect in this sense, well, the negative one is that, of course, the team has to play a Clásico in following hours. The good one is that after the Clásico, there will be the international break. So here you win a couple of weeks to recover players, and in the case that, now it's a reality that Barça will be playing the quarterfinals of the Europa League, that it will be this 7th April, I think, the first leg of this quarterfinals. Yeah. This means that you still have some time to recover at least Serginho Dest. That is crucial because he's the only natural right back in the squad list available now. And let's see Piqué also if he can be first of all in the Clásico, and if not, in the worst scenario, there for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and before we're going to move on to the draw of this beautiful third kit, I also want to talk a little bit about our defense, in particular Marc-André ter Stegen, who maybe didn't have the most amount of work to do, certainly in that goal that the home side scored to go up 1-0. It was absolutely, he couldn't have done anything. It was completely caught off guard by a very aware, was it Macau, right? That
yes.
Scored? Yes. The 1-0, but overall a very good performance as well from Marc-André ter Stegen. With the few chances that the home side have, ter Stegen proved to be very alert.
Yes, alert, and in the end he's also one of the leaders of this squad with his experience. Always from the back, it's important to have someone giving instructions to the side. In the other goal, Iñaki Peña, that in the Camp Nou was the best player of the match. Today he has suffered a little bit more, but also he has shown great skills, and hopefully in summer he will be back joining FC Barcelona. This is a huge and great experience for him. But yeah, in the end, good ter Stegen, and hopefully, and I mean, let's see if in the future also Iñaki Peña can be important in this club.
Were you getting nervous at all at the end of that match when things started to heat up? You saw the crowd getting into it with Jordi Alba.
I mean, the only good thing is that if Galatasaray was going to score your goal, at least you have the extra time, So, yeah. I mean, it was a kind of nerves, but not as huge as in the past that there was no possibility to have so many extra times, just the same result. But in this case today, this new rule has played against Barça because, of course, with a 2-1 up after 0-0 at home in a year ago would be really calm situation, because with the 2-2 you are still the one who makes it to the next round. But in the end today, the team has won, so no worries at all about the new rules.
The team has won in 90 minutes. Let's call it 96 minutes, because in the end, that is what the referee
Peri hasn't played an extra time today.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to mention. Thankfully, that we didn't have to go through extra time, of course, with also the Clásico now lingering, or not just lingering, it's on the horizon coming up this Sunday. The biggest club football match in the world. Luckily, our players didn't have to run more miles and gain more fatigue ahead of this important clash in La Liga Santander. Bruno, we have this third jersey in front of us. It needs an owner.
Okay, here I have the two names guess the score is the correct one, 2-1. One went for Ferran and the other one for Aubameyang as the first one. No one picked the good answer, so this means that we're gonna invite our two guests here. See Yuli. Familiar face, because we talked to him. I think Diego talked to you before.
Hello.
How are
again.
you?
Good, nice to meet you.
How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, very excited. To be honest, it's my first time to watch the full football game. And yeah, I'm now feeling so lucky to be the one.
Wow.
First football game and you already got the score right.
Yeah, so I'm so lucky.
Where are you from?
China.
China. And are you visiting Barcelona?
Yeah, I'm studying here.
What did you study?
Yeah, I'm civil engineering PhD here.
And have you ever gone to the Camp Nou before?
Yes, once.
For a game or for just the tour?
For just a tour.
So that is still on your bucket list, to see a game in a beautiful stadium over there?
Yeah, it will be now. Yeah, now it's my beginning, and I'll still support the Barcelona and the teams here.
It was your first game, but give me your analysis. You're here live on Barca, live on YouTube. All the world is watching you. Let's hear from your analysis. What your thoughts about the game?
It's super nice to see this. I never watched the full game, and my friend, he invited me here, and now it's my best experience by this year. It will be super good for me to start this and then to watch a game in the Camp Nou for face-to-face for real.
Fantastic.
Well, we're just moments away to find out if you're going to be on a roll here with your luck. You mentioned that you're feeling pretty lucky tonight. Do you think you're going to be walking away with this jersey?
Walk away.
Do you think you're going to take this jersey home with you?
Yeah, of course.
He's feeling lucky.
Let's see, because he has a rival now in the draw. Tomorrow there will be the big draw of the Europa League, but this is the preview draw and the most important one now in all our Barça community. Jorge Mendy. Jorge, in English, castellano. English, sí? Oh, yeah, let's speak English. That's fantastic. Our eldest from Barcelona that also, of course, speaks fantastic English. Jorge, hello, welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're from Barcelona?
Yeah. I live here in Les Corts, a neighbor.
So you're a huge Barça fan?
Of course, I am.
Let me ask first of all about your opinion of the game. So, as a Barça fan, it was a tough side, Galatasaray, away in Istanbul, but the team won.
Yeah, the first half was a bit hard, and the second half we enjoyed a bit more. I'm really happy to get the team win that match.
And were you expecting to suffer this much against a team like Galatasaray, who are having their worst season so far in their history?
I was waiting for this because I saw the first match here in Barcelona. We suffer a lot, and now in their stadium with all these people, this crowd, I was hoping this. Yeah.
Is this your first time watching a match in Barça Café?
No. Or yes, yeah, I've been in Barça Café, but that's the first time watching a match.
Did you enjoy the atmosphere here?
Yeah, the atmosphere, the meal, they're really good, the beers, everything, yeah.
Jorge, Seyuli was his first game watching Barça full. I don't know, do you have any Barça shirts? Although you haven't watched any full game since today.
No, I don't have.
It will be your first one. Jorge, I'll imagine that you have plenty of Barça.
Neither, I don't have.
What was your first Barça shirt? How far back are we going here?
My first Barça shirt? No, I don't have a Barça shirt.
You don't have it?
No,
this would be your very first Barça shirt, and you're from Les Corts?
Exactly, yeah.
You were not joking?
No, I wasn't joking. No, that's my first kid or second kid Barça.
Do you like this one, the European edition?
That's the best of this season, I think. Yeah, I think so.
Are you feeling lucky today?
I don't know. You feel lucky also, no?
Should we go for I don't know, like our producer, if we have the pot here to make the draw, the pot where we have been following and using all the answers. Diego, I don't know if there is a word in English. Here in Spain we say una mano inocente,
Yes,
a
the
legal
innocent
hand.
I like that. I like that saying. We don't have that in English. No, at least I'm not aware of it. Well, we're going to adopt it. The innocent hand of Bruno, although God knows where those
Las
hands
bolas
have been.
calientes now, like we also like to call it the hot balls. So we will need one hand. I don't know these two fan here to take a no here, yes. Okay, we have a fan
here we
here.
Go. Here we go. Yes.
He's gonna decide who is the winner of this shirt. So all yours.
Come on.
Just read the name. See you.
Right.
So this is yes. This is yours now.
You're streaking
very much. I'm so lucky. Muchas gracias. Mereces.
He's going to walk away with the European edition of Barça's shirt. The luck continues for Silly. My goodness, coming here for a very first time, seeing Barça win in dramatic fashion as well, and going home with your very first Barça shirt.
I'm so excited now. I just want to say thank you very much.
He's almost crying. I like it.
It's emotional. These are emotional ties. These are emotional ties for Barça fans. Well, listen, thank you so much for participating. Thank you as well, Jorge.
Thank you so
much. We
much.
hope you guys enjoyed it. And, of course, do come back to this lovely Barça Cafe for all of the away games.
Will do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'll come back with this in Camp Nou.
That's right. Hey, in the next round, we want to see you in the stands of the Camp Nou with that shirt.
I will be.
All right. Good.
Thank you.
Good,
Thank
good.
you, guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
Well, fantastic, Diego, or not? This is
what a day it's been
emotional moment
for our friend from China.
Yes, it's great. This is Barça. I mean, your first game here, your first shirt. Now he just has to support Barça also in China and continue, growing this Barça feeling. That is so high in China. We have to accept it. But we love to have fans from around the world.
Exactly. What we didn't ask our fans is their pick for man of the match. So Bruno, I'm going to ask you: do you have a man of the match?
Yes, I have one clear man of the match. You already have been talking about him. You mentioned it, and it has to be Pedri, because of course his key goal but as always, not just for the goals, it's all what he gives to the team, attacking, defending. So yeah, my 3 points are gonna go for Pedri as my man of the match. I'm gonna give 2 to Aubameyang.
Okay.
Again, it's his 7th goal in 10 games.
Incredible.
It's unbelievable, the numbers of Aubameyang. He's continue growing in the rankings of this competition as the history's top scorer.
Yeah.
He's a bit far away from Larsson. Yeah, that is the top one with 40 goals, but he can reach the, I will say, the 3rd spot after this Europa League, so he can be in the podium because he's getting closer to other important players like Falcao.
Yeah.
So Aubameyang, 2 points for him. And I'm going to give 1 point to Eric Garcia today, that I think also was solid in defense and also playing from the back. He's getting good performances, and we will have to see, of course, the physical news about Piqué, but if not, of course, he can be one option at the Bernabeu. Why not, Eric Garcia?
Yeah. In the same line, I'm going to give the 3 points without any hesitation to Pedri, showing maturity, showing his class, showing as well he's just simply not intimidated against whatever team and whatever surrounding, whatever stadium he plays in. He is the leader of this team, and he continues to prove that game by game by game. And put a cherry on top, he scored a beautiful, absolute stunning goal that, I mean, many of us are going to see repeated on loop on YouTube or wherever it might be. But 3 points for Pedri without any hesitation there. I'm going to give 2 to Ferran. I thought that he was very positive today as well. And I'm going to give the 1 point to Aubameyang in the same line as you mentioned, being the top goal scorer of this competition. And, I mean, scoring in 70% of the games that he's participated, 7 goals in the 10 games. With that, we're going to end our broadcast here from Barça Cafe. We certainly enjoyed it, Bruno. We hope that you did as well, and we hope you join us again next time.
Next time, and hopefully we can be again here at the Barça Cafe. It has been a great experience. Thank you to all the staff here at the Barça Cafe.
We're going to leave you now with our panel back in the studio, who are going to break down the rest of this match. Enjoy.
Well, thank you, Diego and Bruno, and please don't forget to bring that takeout food. Those burgers look very nice at the beginning of the show with the Barca crest imprinted on them. But yes, we are going to take over in this post-game show, waiting for Xavi to come out in the press conference, and I'm joined here, as I was during the game, with former Arsenal legend, or no, you're not a former Arsenal legend, you are an Arsenal legend, former Arsenal goalkeeper, Emma Byrne.
I could be a former legend
Yes.
as well. Nobody remembers.
Anyway, Emma, it wasn't the shiniest of performances, but they got the job done in the end.
No, they did, and it's something that they've lacked previously, especially going a goal down away from home. We've seen this Barca team crumble and really struggle to get back on top of the game. So that's really positive. The fact is that they got on top of the game and then they performed, they continued to push.
Right. We're seeing the photographs of the game there as Barca got to Istanbul. They knew it was a tough game. Galatasaray showed us a little bit more of what we saw in the first leg, really and truthfully. Tight defending, not making it comfortable for the likes of Pedri, who was constantly swarmed by defenders. It made Aubameyang drop back quite a bit in the first half, looking to bring that extra man into midfield to help create. And Barca were really struggling in that sense.
Yeah, they were, and normally it's not that difficult for Barca to break that press, but they really struggled tonight just from the pure physicality and pace of Galatasaray, and they really did line up well. I mean, they had 4 at the back, pretty much 5 in midfield, and then that one player, Gomez, on top, and it really worked because they completely cut off that ball, particularly into Pedri and into De Jong, to his feet. And they also did a really nice job in the wide areas, something that they struggled with last week, so they improved again. But we spoke about their manager. He knows about the Barca style. He knows them inside out. And he did a really good job in the last 2 legs.
Oh, definitely. And they made things very tough for Barca. We're going to head over to Turkey. At the stadium is Mai Rostro. We weren't able to talk to her during the game, but we can now. Mai, what were your thoughts on tonight's game and the fact that Barca have qualified for the next round?
Hello, Robert. It's a pleasure to say hi to you. I'm here at the Nef Stadium. I can barely show my happiness right now because we have a lot of the fans watching us right now, and that's why I'm wearing this, and you can see the Barca badge because I'm just taking care of me right now. The atmosphere was insane. The 96 minutes, they were supporting, they were cheering, they were doing everything for their team. And also every time that we were touching the ball and dominating, they were whistling the entire time. So it was not easy at all. At the beginning, I was really nervous, so I can't imagine how hard it was for all the Barca players. But in the end, it's a 2-1 victory. It means we're going to the last 8 and we're going to do this. So we're really excited to be here, to be part of this, and to have this experience of living the hell, because it was actually a hell for all the team. We celebrated the goals like inside really deeply, but it was a special day for sure, and we will never forget this. If we have to talk about the man of the match, well, it's so difficult, but for me today, the 3 points goes for Pedri because he did an amazing performance. He was the one who scored the equalizer. The 2 points, I think it's, even though he didn't play that much, Gavi, because Gavi was pressing and doing a lot. You can feel when he is on the pitch and he's doing everything to help the team. And 1 point I will say for Eric, because he was helping a lot with the passes, creating opportunities. He's the type of player who likes to go to the final third or look for that pass, dangerous pass. But well, as I always say, it's so difficult, so different to live a game on the pitch than watch it from home or watch it from TV. This is all from Istanbul, from Turkey. We will be back tomorrow, and I have to say goodbye to all of you guys. I'm sharing the happiness, as you can see, but I can show that much. So back to you, Robert.
Well, safe travels back, Maya, the team returning tomorrow, and now thinking, of course, about that game on Sunday. I'm absolutely surprised, amazed that Maya picked Pedri and Gavi as her 2 favourites of the game. She never does that. She never picks Pedri or Gavi. Let's take a look at the votes of man of the match for this game. Let's take a look at Bruno and Diego's first. They voted from the Barca Cafe, so if we can get those on our screens right now. Bruno voted 3 points for Pedri, 2 for Aubameyang, and 1 for Eric Garcia. Diego also went for Pedri as his top man of the match with 3 points. Ferran, he gave 2, and 1 for Aubameyang for that goal that he scored. Emma, what are your votes?
Yes, I'm going to go. Usually I don't like to go with the flow, but Pedri is up there for me, definitely. Eric Garcia, I thought, was absolutely brilliant tonight. And then my last one goes to Jordi Alba because he just shows great passion, doesn't he? And he's just brilliant left-sided, going up the left side. Brilliant in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Well, I mean, I'm going to agree with everyone and go for Pedri with the 3 points. Absolutely outstanding and pivotal, scoring that equalizer in the first half. The poise that he showed in there, just holding onto the ball and waiting for the right moment to slot it in. Sergio Busquets, I thought he was instrumental in Barca's pressure, recovering the ball very quickly and not allowing Galatasaray to get forward too much. And then Aubameyang, token point there for scoring the goal that gave Barca the lead. Let's take a look at Maya's votes as well, of course. She voted for Pedri, Gavi and Eric, and I mean, for the second consecutive time in 5 days, we have a unanimous man of the match. Pedri gets the full 15 points with the votes from Diego, Bruno, Emma, Mai and myself. 15 points for him, followed by Aubameyang and Eric with 4. 2 points for Ferran, Sergio and Gavi, and 1 point for Jordi Alba. Let's now take a look at the results of this round of 16 in the Europa League. Round of 8, sorry. No, exactly. Round of 8. No, sorry, I was right. Round of 16. Okay, finished are the games between Bayer Leverkusen and Atalanta. Atalanta are the team that make it through. Rangers lost to Red Star Belgrade 2-1, but they had a good result from the first leg and managed to make it through. So do Barca, of course, after that 2-1 win against Galatasaray. And Braga make it through to the next round after a 1-1 draw in Monaco. The other team that's through, of course, is Leipzig, because the game between them and Spartak Moscow was cancelled because of the conflict, and there are 3 more ties. So we'll have to wait and see who Barca will face tomorrow. Tomorrow is the draw, 1:30 local time here. And yeah, it'll definitely be tough in the quarterfinals. And now Barca get a chance to focus on the game we're all waiting for, Sunday.
Yes, I mean, this is a massive game. Every game for Xavi's side is a cup final. He said it himself. It's true. He has a lot of pressure on him. It's going to be very, very tough end of season, but obviously straight away he switches off from Europa League to straight on to back to La Liga. And that's going to be really difficult, right? Because they are in form.
They are definitely in form, but Barca do feel like they're in with a chance to win El Clásico before the international break. Well, Xavi's in the press conference, so we're going to have to head over there. Emma, thank you very much for joining. We'll see you on Sunday for the Clásico.
See you Sunday.
Exciting times to be a Barca fan. El Clásico on Sunday. Tomorrow it's the Europa League draw. We will be live here from Barca Studios at 1:45 to see who we get in the next round of the Europa League. So don't forget to tune in. Thank you very much for watching tonight. It's been an exciting one. Barca made it through to the next round of the Europa League with a 2-1 win in Turkey against Galatasaray. That's all from us here, and we're going to head over to the press room where Xavi Hernandez is addressing the press.
Sí, jo crec que ens hem trobat un partit que és el més difícil que ens podem trobar.
I think we encountered a game that was as difficult as we can get.
I només teníem superioritat amb el central.
We only had superiority with the centre-backs. We did very well. We did a really good job. I think we did a lot better than in the first leg.
Ser pulcre i triar quin home queda lliure quan divideix l'Eric o quan divideix el Gerard, no? O quan
we had to be calm when the defenders were split up, when Eric and Gerard were split.
Ho hem fet prou bé. Hi ha molts moments que, evidentment...
There were many moments in which the most difficult thing was not giving away the ball.
Són en dècimes de segon, aquesta pressa.
It's a matter of tenths of a second. It's really difficult to take those decisions. Dominic made the perfect strategy for them.
Llavors, clar, ell ha preferit que sigués un central el que quedava lliure. Bé, ho hem entès molt bé. Crec que hem jugat molt millor que l'anada.
I think we played a lot better than in the first leg, and that's why we've got through to the quarterfinals.
En molts moments també havíem de circular d'un
For many moments, we went from one side to another, and the free man was Frankie or Pedri, because they weren't being covered. So we had to be patient. We had to show skill as well. It was very well deserved over the course of the 2 legs, the victory today. So congratulations to the team, because they have the maturity to score at this stadium, which is a really tough place to go and score.
Farem les 3 primeres preguntes en català. Marta i després Laura.
What did you think about Pedri's performance? How important was it for you to score for half-time? Yes, it was really important. It was a goal that was spectacular. It was sublime. Pedri is capable of that and more. I can't say much more. He's a player who's capable of making a difference. Today there was some man-to-man marking and he was able to get away. He's able to create chances from that, even when he's being man-marked. That's the most difficult thing in football. That shows just how good he is. In many moments, he was able to keep the ball when going backwards. I'm very demanding with this. I was like that when I played as well, about not losing the ball, and we didn't lose the ball. We need to be responsible with the ball because if you make mistakes, then it can prove costly.
Muchas gracias.
Parlem, crec que cada roda de premsa de Pedri, però volia saber una curiositat. Quan ha marcat el Galatasaray, has estat una estona parlant amb ell?
When Galatasaray scored, you were talking to the fourth official.
Ara ja es compara aquest gol amb un gol de Messi, el que ha marcat. Què t'has dit?
What do you think about Pedri's goal as well? You compare it to Iniesta's or Messi's. No, I wouldn't like to compare it with anybody's. He's got his own personality, Pedri, and that's sufficient. He's able to score those types of goals, and it's amazing that he's able to do that. It was a tactical thing, talking with Ferran Torres.
Qüestions tàctiques
a tactical thing. We didn't want them to have space and time. We wanted Busquets and Ferran to have that space.
Hola.
I want to ask about your half-time team talk. What did you say so that the team came out so motivated? Did you ask them for more intensity? What was your team talk?
No, que estábamos jugando bien.
I said that we were playing well, that we were understanding that there was just the one cross in, and there was just
simplemente que un central tenía que dividir, que entender que el que le saltaba que daba el espacio.
The way that he broke the defense, he broke it between the two.
Un central el 9 y se tenía que desmarcar, que cayeran más en profundidad muchas veces y que siguieran creyéndolo, que esto se.
I told the team to keep creating chances. I'm always very positive, but I had the feeling that we were a lot better than Galatasaray.
Aradan sonra oyuncularına ne dedin? İkinci yarıya Barcelona farklı bir şekilde çıktı. Bunu böyle olduğunu düşünüyor musun gerçekten? Tam olarak söyleyemem. Bence iyi oynuyorduk. Merkezde, orta sahada iyiydik. Açık alanlar yaratmamız gerekiyordu. Oyuna daha derinlik kattık. Ben her zaman pozitif bir insanım. Zaten ilk yarıda da daha Galatasaray'dan daha iyi olduğumuzu düşünüyordum. O yüzden değiştirmemiz gereken bir şey olduğunu söylemedim. Aynı şekilde devam ettik ikinci yarıya. Oyuna derinlik katarak.
Elena. Muchas gracias.
You said yesterday that you handle pressure well. We saw you quite nervous in the dugout, though. In the second half, there weren't many shots on goal from Galatasaray. There was a lot of pressure, and you had to handle the scoreline as well.
No, pero bueno, yo soy muy activo y soy.
I'm very active. I'm very competitive. But I think that I'm a calm person. And I like to be calm. But that's impossible. You're competing. There's tension, there's nerves, but I think we controlled the game very well at all times. you suffer because of the game, but I think we were playing very well. We understood how to attack, and that was the most important thing in the game. We were watching Aktürkoğlu, who was the quickest player and the biggest difference maker. I don't know what kind of possession we had, but we were always playing in the opposition half and generating chances on goal. Honestly, I think that the result was fell short of what we could have had. I've come here many years ago. We knew what we were going to encounter. This is Turkey. We know.
Dün basın toplantısında baskıyı iyi yönettiğini söyledin, sakin kaldığını söyledin ama bugün maçta hep yanda ayaktaydın. İkinci yarı özellikle Galatasaray şut çekemedi ama tansiyon çok yüksekti atmosfer olarak. Genel olarak ne düşünüyorsun? Yandan, sağ kenarından nasıl yansıdı maç sana? Hak ettiniz mi? Evet, kenarda oldukça aktifim. Çok rekabetçi bir insanım. Sakin bir yapım var ama maçta sakin kalmak mümkün değil rekabetçiyseniz. Oldukça tansiyon vardı. Mutluyum. Nasıl atak yapmamızı biliyorduk bugün. İyi oynadık. Kerem özellikle ona dikkat çekmek istiyordum takımda da. Çok hızlı bir oyuncu. Galatasaray'ın en iyi oyuncularından biriydi. Ona iyi önlem aldık. Domine ettik maçı. Gol bulmak için iyi pozisyonlar yarattığımızı düşünüyorum. Hak ettik. Atmosfere gelince tabii ben buraya çok kez geldim Türkiye'ye. Atmosferin nasıl olacağını biliyordum. O yüzden iyi bir karşılık verdik.
Buenas noches, Xavi. Alfredo Martínez, Radio Estadio Onda Cero. Me imagino que te habrás quitado un peso de encima porque
I imagine it's a weight off your shoulders because it was a lot more difficult in the first leg than you thought. Is this the best way to come into the Clásico? With this good feeling that you've always insisted on. Also, a question is Piqué okay?
Con buena disposición al Bernabéu, ¿verdad?
Sí, hoy era importante, ¿no? Además,
today was important.
El siguiente partido, que es el más importante siempre, y bueno, que
we focus on the next game, which is always the most important. But this is a European trophy. We want to go far in this competition. We're very happy to be in the quarterfinals. I think it's very well deserved. And maybe if we go into good form into the Clásico, but that doesn't mean anything. I've been in all sorts of Clásicos in which we've been in good form and lost, and good form and won, bad form and won. It's going to be another story. It's going to be a difficult game. Piqué, in theory, just got a little niggle. He was struggling to sprint, but he's had this for a month or so. He's putting in a tremendous effort for the team.
Bugün zorlandınız mı? Pazar günü Madrid'de önemli maç oynayacaksınız. Fiziksel olarak Bernabéu'ya nasıl gidiyorsunuz? Maç bakıyoruz. Dün de bunu söyledim. Bu maç oldukça önemliydi. Avrupa'da önemli bir maç. Biz bu kupayı kazanmak istiyoruz ve hak ettiğimizi düşünüyorum. Moral olarak El Clasico'ya iyi gidiyoruz. Pazar başka bir hikaye olacak, başka bir maç olacak. Piqué'nin durumu soruldu. Piqué yorgun olduğu için aldım. Çok iyi bir performans gösterdi.
Hola Xavi, enhorabuena por la victoria, Raúl Fuentes de Radio Marca. En esta dinámica de buenos resultados,
and this dynamic of good results,
común en alguno de los partidos es que habéis volteado el marcador el día del Atlético de Madrid.
You came back against Atletico Madrid after going down and against Elche as well.
Más allá de tu mensaje, ¿qué es lo que ha cambiado en la mentalidad?
What's changed in the mentality of the players?
Que los jugadores reaccionen así
so that they react like this during a game. It's something that we haven't seen in recent months in the team. It's no coincidence we're creating and believing in what we're doing. You can see that we're enjoying a lot having the ball, and we press after losing the ball, and everybody wins the ball back quickly. We saw that in the second half, in which Galatasaray didn't go out of their own half. That's what we want. We all work for the team. It's all about that. It says a lot because the game was a little bit difficult for us. We kept patient. We showed personality and calm. And that's what I wanted from the game. I'm very happy, very satisfied. It's a very important victory.
Bu maçtan önce de Elche ve Atletico Madrid gibi geri döndüğümüz maçlar oldu. Önceden Barcelona tepki veremiyordu. Bu tarz geri düştüğünüzde tepki vermek için oyuncularınıza nasıl bir kimlik kattınız? Çok çalışıyoruz idmanlarda. Oyuncularım oldukça eğleniyor. Topa sahiptik bugün. İyi baskı yaptık. Galatasaray özellikle ikinci yarıda çıkamadı yerinden. İstediğimiz de bu zaten. Maça iyi başladılar. Defansı yaptılar ama karakter gösterdik, kimlik gösterdik ve sabrederek oyunu geri çevirmeye başardık. İstediğimiz de buydu.
Öncelikle tebrikler NTV Gürkan Ak.
kariyeri boyunca birçok önemli atmosferde, birçok önemli statta dolu tribünler önünde maçlara çıktı. Bugünkü atmosferi en iyileri arasında kaçıncı sıraya koyar? Bir de İspanya basınında bugün bir haber vardı. Fenerbahçe'nin genç yeteneği Arda Güler'le Barcelona'nın ilgilendiği konusunda. Daha önce Emre Demir transferini görmüştük Türkiye'den. Bu konuyla ilgili bir şey söylemek ister mi?
Durante su carrera teve muchos partidos.
During your career, you've played a lot of games in these atmospheres. What do you think about the atmosphere today? Was it better than other games?
Hoy en Turquía estaban hablando que Barcelona está interesado con el jugador de Fenerbahce.
People were asking if you were interested in the Fenerbahce player. What can you say about that?
¿Tienes alguna idea? Vale.
No, a la segunda pregunta no.
I don't know about the second question. This is one of the best atmospheres that I've experienced in my career. I've experienced it when I was playing. I knew how difficult it was going to be. It makes this even more of an important victory. We went behind, and then it was an amazing atmosphere. We knew. But it got even more complicated. It's been one of the most difficult atmospheres that I've experienced.
Ambiyanslardan birisi evet. Ama bunun zorluğunu biliyorduk zaten. Buna göre hazırlandık. Geri düşmemize rağmen iyi tepki verip çevirdik. Atmosfer o anlar mükemmel diyebilirim ama biz de burada nasıl tepki vermemiz gerektiğini iyi biliyorduk.
TV Spor Metin Pekgüven. Dünkü basın toplantısında Galatasaray'ı iyi analiz ettiklerini söylediler. Ama oyun olarak baktığımız zaman özellikle Galatasaray'ın savunma arkasına attığı toplarda pozisyon bulduğunu gördük. Bu kendileri için bir sürpriz mi oldu? Ayrıca az önce Kerem için de övgüyle bahsetti. Ona karşı önlem almak istedik dedi. Kerem genç bir oyuncu, gelişimini yakından takip etmeyi düşünüyor mu?
Yesterday you said that there was a good analysis of Galatasaray, but there's a lot of balls over the top today. Did that surprise Barcelona?
Kerem es un jugador importante de Galatasaray que quiere ver el futuro de Kerem.
What do you think about Kerem? Galatasaray player.
Sí, Turkoglu me parece un...
Turkoglu, I think he's a very interesting player, a very good player. He's able to create one-on-ones. He was a nightmare throughout the tie for us. I think we had total dominance of the game. It's normal that Galatasaray would create danger, but they created very little. We generated a lot more. We dominated the game. We predicted that. We analysed very well how to attack this block that they have. I think he's a great coach because he read things very well, but we also read things well. We understood how to attack, and we were fair winners. I think we should have scored more goals, especially in the first half.
Evet çok iyi oyuncu, ilginç yetenekleri var. Birebir de çok iyi. Her şeyini verdi bu ikili maçta. Ama biz domine ettik oyunu. O yüzden Galatasaray'ın yine fırsat bulması normaldi. İyi analiz ettiğimizi düşünüyorum. Ama az fırsat verdik bence. Biz daha da çok fırsatlar bulduk Galatasaray'a göre. Dominik çok iyi hoca. Defansta çok iyi blok kurdu. Ama onu kırmak için iyi sonuçlar ve ataklar yaptığımızı söyleyebilirim.
Haremos las dos últimas preguntas, Edu y Jordi.
Hola Xavi, Edu Polo, Mundo Deportivo. Quedan ya 8 equipos en competición, o van a quedar 8 después de los partidos de esta noche. Hasta ahora siempre has rechazado el cartel de favorito.
You've always said that you're not the favourite.
No sé si ya asumís esa presión de favoritos y
but
puedes decir que
are you accepting that role?
No, Serginho tenía una molestia en el isquio.
Sergio Busquets had problems in his hamstring. We hope that it's nothing serious.
La de Gerard.
Just like for Gerard Piqué. I don't think we're favourites in the competition. We don't know the opposition as much as in the Champions League. We're in the quarterfinals, so we are candidates. I think Sevilla are more favourites because they know the competition. They've won the last few years. I think Sevilla are more favourites than Barça.
Favori olduğunu söyleyebilir miyiz bu Avrupa Ligi kupasında? Ve Serginho'nun durumuyla alakalı son durum nedir? Sakatlandı ama henüz bir bilgi okuma rimidir. Rakipleri çok iyi bilmiyoruz bu kupada. Şampiyonlar Ligi'ne göre yeni deneyimlediğimiz bir kupa. Sadece çeyrek finale kaldık. Ama örneğin Sevilla'yı favori olarak görebilirim. Çünkü bu kupayı birden çok kazandı. Ama iyi yolda ilerliyoruz. Bu kupayı talibiz kesinlikle.
Hola Xavi, bona nit, Jordi Blanco d'ESPN. Felicitats per la victòria. Quizá una de las claves que se...
Maybe one of the keys of the game was that after the goal from Galatasaray, the team didn't lose calm and were able to keep tranquil.
Quizá esto te ofrece a ti la tranquilidad y la confianza de
Does that offer you the confidence to know that this is the way through?
La confianza en vosotros mismos a pesar de que los resultados a veces no sean en el momento el adecuado.
Sí, ya nos pasó en Elche también.
It happened for us against Atletico and against Elche.
Rápido también nos ha dado seguridad, ¿no?
Equalizing quickly gave us some safety, security.
En nuestro modelo de juego, en cómo lo teníamos claro.
We were clear about our way of playing. The centre-backs were fantastic, and Jordi and Busquets were as well. We kept patience. This was a game to have a lot of patience in. It's a very, very important win for us for how the season will go.
Galatasaray'ın golünden sonra sakin kaldınız ve sakin kalarak güveninizi yerinizde tutarak maçı çevirdiniz. Şifre buydu diyebilir miyiz? Bu şekilde mi ilerlemek gerekiyor bundan sonraki maçlar için? Kesinlikle evet. Elche ve Atletico maçında da geri döndük ama bu maç gibi hızlı cevap verdik. Gelişiyoruz, sakinliğimizi koruyoruz. Bugün merkezde özellikle Jordi çok iyiydi ama bu maç tamamen bir sabır maçıydı. Bizim için çok önemli bir maçtı ve kazandığımız için mutluyuz.
Muy bien, muchas gracias, buenas noches.
Gracias.
Amb el dorsal 16, Pedri.